running back prospect. We've been tapping to the green wave on the other end. Here an option. This one going to be a pitch to the outside.
This week's Key On Sports Game of the Week is brought to you by Advanced Diagnostics Auto Care and Maintenance. If you want dealership quality at a fraction of the cost, visit Advanced Diagnostics Auto Care and Maintenance at 23779 Lorraine Road in North Olmsted, and you won't be disappointed. You need a repair shop that you can trust. They know the repair process is all about customer service. How they treat their customers is just as important, if not more important, than the quality of the services they provide. They are always willing to discuss your repair needs before, during, and long after your visit. They treat you like family and won't stop until you're completely satisfied and road ready.
Celebrate Cleveland boys and girls high school basketball at the Cleveland Basketball Classic. Admissions is $16 daily for all games that day. All games will be held at Baldwin Wallace University at Earth Spring Gymnasium over Thanksgiving weekend of 2025. The goal of this event is to honor the best of Cleveland basketball's past while putting the spotlight on today's Cleveland area high schools.
Christine Dort Photography. From sports to real-life photos, don't let a big event go by without Christine Dort there to photograph it. Find her today on Facebook or at www.christinedortphotography.com for all your photo needs.
Kathy is a multi-million-dollar top producer in Northeast Ohio. She strives to give all her clients the best knowledge and support through each phase of the home buying and selling process. Give her a call or send her a text at 330-242-0377 to get started today. You can email her at kathydressrealtor@gmail.com.
Gotcha Covered Avon. Their team of experienced design consultants are experts in helping you find the right window treatments for your home or business. Swing by their showroom at 2525 Nagel Road in Avon to see for yourself how they can make your entire living room, or any room, look better with just a few small suggestions and a low cost. You can find them online at gotchacovered.com/Avon. Lou Grasso Accounting and Tax Services. Your taxes and accounting needs must be handled by the very best, so you can rest easy. You can have that comfort of knowing your money is being handled by the experts with Lou Grasso Accounting and Tax Services. They prepare individual, corporate, nonprofit, and small business tax returns. They also specialize in investment and accounting and managing clients' QuickBooks with over $275 million in assets accounted for. Located in Avon, they prepare your federal, state, and city returns, which includes e-file and direct deposit. Please visit their website at www.lougrassotax.com for more info.
OCD Home Solutions offers a wide range of services to fit your needs, including a concierge-level moving assistance from sorting and packing to space planning and unpacking. They'll make sure your move is seamless and stress-free, whether you're relocating across town or transporting a loved one to a smaller home. Their team takes care of the details so you can focus on what matters the most. You can reach them today at www.ocdhomesolutions.com or book them by calling 216-299-3181 for a free consultation by mentioning Key On Sports when you contact them.
Riley's Irish Bakery. The absolute best bakery and comfort food selection you will find on the west side of town. Located in the heart of Fairview, this incredible family-run business is your first, last, and only stop for the best eats. At Riley's Irish Bakery, they use the freshest ingredients to create classic Irish baked goods and savories. They are located at 22570 Lorraine Road in Fairview.
Westside Family Dentistry is conveniently located near Detroit Avenue. Their professionals know that dental health is not just about white smiles, it's about having strong teeth and healthy gums. It's about prolonging the simple joy of eating delicious things. Their mission is to help their patients accomplish these goals in a painless, compassionate, and effective way. You can visit them at 18611 Detroit Avenue in Lakewood, Ohio.
Climate Tech Inc. For 48 years, family-owned and operated Climate Tech has been the premier company for all HVAC services. For both residential and commercial, they have it covered. They offer free estimates on equipment replacement and 24-hour emergency service. Visit them at climatetech.com. Aspen Property Services. If you want your yard to look perfect, leave it up to the pros of Aspen Property Services. call and ask for details at 720-215-1786. They are the leaders in the landscaping industry and can help with restoration and regular maintenance.
Run some type of rule out here if they're going to pass it, but there is an overhang on the right. They need to be careful.
Roxandich, the keeper, up the middle, keeps the legs churning, and he fought for that football. It was nearly ripped out of his hands by the edge rusher there. That was defensive end number 53, Rodney Harris, who nearly ripped that out of the arms of Roxandich, and Roxandich said, nope, give me that. I'm holding on to this.
Tonight, Mentor travels to Brunswick in the Keon Sports Game of the Week.
Run some type of rule out here if they're going to pass it, but there is an overhang on the right. They need to be careful.
Roxandich, the keeper, up the middle, keeps the legs churning, and he fought for that football. It was nearly ripped out of his hands by the edge rusher there. That was defensive end number 53, Rodney Harris, who nearly ripped that out of the arms of Roxandich, and Roxandich said, nope, give me that. I'm holding on to this. And reaches that arm towards the plane, broke it, and that's a touchdown and now a lead for the Blue Devils.
Woo, I got chills here, Cole. This is a huge crowd here for Brunswick here tonight, and Roxandich gave them something to cheer for. Going in, a lot of people doubted Brunswick. It's an early lead. They have to stay consistent. Anytime this Cleveland Heights team has their talented players, their smart players on the field, they have a chance to win the game. They need to be a little bit more. The adrenaline.
Live from Brunswick Auto Mart Stadium, it's the Keon Sports High School Football Game of the Week for Week 4 as the Mentor Cardinals travel in to take on the Brunswick Blue Devils. Apologies for the short delay, folks. We're finishing up a beautiful rendition of the national anthem from the Brunswick High School Orchestra. But, as always, I'm Brandon Soder. Alongside me, Dom Clary. Behind the camera, you'll hear from him here in a little bit. As he got to talk to the coaches pregame, is Brandon Marvel. Before we start getting into the matchup, though, Dom, how you doing today, man?
I'm good. I'm glad to be here. A place that we come to often. Glad to be back in this very tall press box, like climbing a mountain to get up here.
It is, but it's a great view. Very easy to call a game up here, and again, Brunswick always takes very good care of us. But let's go ahead and get into the actual football today. We'll start with Mentor. They're coming in 3-0. They lost Scotty Fox. He goes to West Virginia, the quarterback that nearly broke Mitch Trubisky's passing record. And so far, they have not missed a beat. 3-0 already on the season with 3 impressive wins, Olmsted Falls, McDowell, and St. Ignatius to get the year started. So let's talk about, first off, pregame show brought to you by the Cement Masons, Local 404 Union. Let's talk about some keys to victory and players to watch specifically for Mentor. That's brought to you by Safe Staffing Ohio. Dom, what do you got?
Yeah, it's hard to pinpoint one guy for this team, but Jackson Farley, when you look at everything that's going on, he's the one guy you can point at and be like, hey, he might be the reason why they're winning these games. Jackson Farley, he's a senior running back, 34 carries for 377 yards and 5 touchdowns in his first game against Olmsted Falls. This kid is a beast, folks. But he has a really good offensive line in front of him. There's an NC State commit in front of him. A bunch of guys with D1 offers. This offensive line, they paved the way for Farley. he's my guy to watch. But the offensive line, who knows? We could have multiple guys holding the shield at the end of the day.
And we got a chance to talk to Matt Gray, the head coach of the Mentor Cardinals, before the warm-ups got started today. Let's toss it down to Brandon Marvel.
Coach Matt Gray of the Mentor Cardinals. Coach, off to a great start so far this year, 3-0. Let me get the main point out there. Jackson Farley's had an incredible start to the year. What do you attribute that to?
It's a great combination of tremendous amount of preparation, hard work in the offseason, and him and his teammates on the offense side of football have done an unbelievable job there, being able to propel him to a great start that we have continued to build on and continue to improve as we get through the season.
And then you guys obviously lost Scotty Fox last year, starting quarterback to West Virginia. Great quarterback. But your quarterback this year too, junior, 6'3", 190, big kid. He seems to be just doing the right things, not doing too much. 5 touchdowns and only 1 pick on the year so far. How big is that for your team?
Absolutely, and it's one of those things, and we told him right from the start, you're never going to replace Scotty Fox. Go be the best version of Brogan Jones, and he's done an unbelievable job of being able to lead our offense, putting us in really good spots, and just really proud and pleased of how he has really kind of manufactured and done a great job playing that quarterback position here the first 3 weeks. And the biggest thing with him, he's an absolute grinder. He's just gotten better and better as this year, as this offseason progressed into this season.
You know, you're coming in facing a Brunswick team that likes to pride themselves in stopping that run defensively and really has had a good defense for the last good amount of years. How do you plan to attack that?
You know, it's one of those things. We got to be a well-balanced football team, and we want to be able to attack the defense offense or on the offense side of the ball with the run and the pass there with that, and we want to be able to take advantage of what they can give us, and we've got to play high-caliber football tonight.
Thank you very much, Coach. Good luck to you.
Appreciate you.
All right, thank you, Marvel. Let's flip now over to the Brunswick side. They're hosting today, 1-2 on the season, but coming off a massive 49-0 win against Elyria last week. Keys to victory, players to watch, brought to you by Safe Staffing Ohio. Dom.
Yeah, one guy that we've been talking about for 3 years now, once as a wide receiver, now is a quarterback. That's Sean Barnett, their quarterback. He is a talented athlete, not just on the gridiron, but on the basketball court as well. He has offers from Pitt Johnstown, Flagler, and Walsh. He also might have some D1 interest coming up at the end of the season for basketball. This kid is an athlete. He was a wide receiver that made big plays in the sophomore campaign. Last year, he showed some flashes, and this year, we expect a lot of things. He needs to protect the ball, make sure he's giving out to his weapons. One of those weapons is Eli Nichols, who's a playmaker on both sides of the ball. He could be a guy that could be holding the shield or the T-shirt at the end of the night, but I'd say Sean Barnett, he has to be the biggest difference maker here today.
All right, thank you, Dom. And let's toss it down to Brandon Marvel one more time as he got to talk to Brunswick head coach Cole Carter.
Here with Coach Cole Carter, the Brunswick Blue Devils. Coach, coming off your first one of the season, 49-0 against Elyria. What do you take from that game to kind of carry into this game just to build some more momentum for the season?
Right, I was excited to see how we executed. It felt like for the first time in the first couple weeks that we didn't really shoot ourselves in the foot. We weren't our own worst enemies. Obviously playing a really solid Mentor team. I think they're ranked top 10 in the state of Ohio, and what Coach Gray does there is phenomenal and just a program you really respect. And at this point in the season, you will see where you contend with some of these big-time state teams and programs. And, you know, going into GCC play, there's no better way to test what we're made of as a program.
And turnover-wise, your defense has caused multiple turnovers each game you guys have played so far. But conversely, you guys on offense have struggled to kind of take care of the ball. What do you think of the turnover battle so far for your guys this season?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we are guys that make football very complicated, but if you look at it, it's a simple sport, right? Win the turnover margin, win the time possession, and you're going to have some success there. So first couple weeks didn't do a great job of that. Really flipped the switch last week and really just preached ball security, job security, especially my job security. And I love it here, so hopefully we take care of the football so I can be here next year.
You talked about it a little bit. You guys are coming in facing a Mentor team that has a running back like Jackson Farley, and you guys love to stop the run game. How do you guys continue to do that today?
Yeah, I think whenever you see such a balanced attack like what Mentor has, obviously Justin Hodges on the outside of Miami commit, and then what they have up front on the offensive line is super impressive. So really got to stay humble, stay grounded, read our keys, and trust our instincts defensively. Not think too much, fly around, play fast football.
Thank you very much, Coach. Good luck to you.
All right, folks, and we're going to get right into it as men are going to kick off to start this. Brunswick going to receive. And Brunswick hosting today. Black jerseys, white helmets. Men are in all white, silver helmets.
It's like the Duke Blue Devils versus NC State, classic ACC matchup.
Gotta love it. And the whistle's blown, the kick is off, and we are underway. Deep kick into the end zone, but Brunswick going to try to return it anyway. A little bit of room as the returner makes his way out to the 25 before he is brought down. Credit that time to Gavin Moore on the return for Brunswick. They will get the ball to start off, led by senior quarterback Sean Barnett. Again, huge game for Brunswick last week, 49-0 over Elyria. We'll see if they can replicate that today against a very, very tough Mentor Cardinals team. Again, Mentor so far perfect on the season. Brunswick hoping to play spoiler. Barnett, a dual threat quarterback. Expect to see plenty from him tonight. And it looks like we've got our first penalty of the game, holding on that kick return. That's going to push Brunswick back to the 15 to get things started. 1st and 10. 2 backs in the backfield. And we're ready to go. Barnett sets. Gets the snap, facing pressure. Going to be a run up the middle. Back juts forward for a gain of a couple. Not much there to get things started. Gavin Ballack on the carry.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to have Ballack as that main runner there, and they're going to have Nichols as almost as that primary run blocker, but they're going to utilize him a lot, right? He's not in a true fullback slot. He is the other running back. Be prepared to have them use him in different ways, different variations. Coach said before the game, he loves pre-snap movement right there and doing different things with the ball.
Empty set now, 2nd and 9, man in motion. Barnett has it, rolling out, looking, stepping up in the pocket, throws complete, returner down, or receiver down, right at the 35-yard line. So he hits Aiden Everett. Good start for Brunswick. That's going to move the chains. Going to now be 1st and 10 from the 34-yard line.
Calm, smooth, and collected there by Barnett. Went outside of the pocket. Nichols did a good job sealing the edge, and boom, found his guy right up the middle for a 1st down.
2 backs in the backfield again with Barnett. Takes it. It's going to be a handoff. Back's got a little bit of space this time. Brought down short of the 1st down, but solid run there by Gavin Ballack.
If you're going to beat this tough Mentor team, this is how you're going to have to do it. Getting 4, 5, 6 yards at a time, confusing them with pre-snap motion, right? Using your weapons in a different variety of ways. So that safety, those linebackers don't know what to expect on every play. They're doing a good job mixing things up and confusing the linebackers and safeties.
2nd and 2, man in motion again. Barnett, high snap, but handles it. Back's got it, barrels his way over. He's got the 1st down, +1. Gavin Ballack yet again.
We've seen Gavin Ballack a lot here early for Brunswick. Gavin Ballack, only a sophomore, but prior to the season, named one of the captains for this Brunswick team. Shows how much respect he's gained from not only his coaches, but also his teammates.
Always love to see that. The young players getting a lot of touches here so far for the Blue Devils. 1st and 10 from the 45. Done a good job moving the ball so far here on the 1st drive. 2 backs set again, but they're going to motion them out. Barnett by himself. Takes it. Rolling to the far side, facing some pressure. Evades the 1st man, has another one coming. Little bit of space, he's going to take off. Picks up 5 and pushed out of bounds.
And that's the thing we talked about. He's a heck of an athlete, right? The kid can move, and the kid can move fast. He's a star basketball player for Brunswick. He's contributed to this team in a variety of different ways over the years. He's super talented, and he showed right there, hey, I can evade 2 guys and pick up 5. Now his team's looking pretty, rather than being sacked 5 yards in the backfield.
2nd and 5 now. Nearly in Mentor territory. Single back in the backfield. They will send one in motion, and it will be a pass off to that man in motion. A little bit of space on the near side, and he's got a 1st down. Landon Kirkner, that time for the Blue Devils on the reception. Little halfback screen in motion.
You know, I told Coach before the game that how much I loved watching his offense work, right? Even when it's not scoring touchdowns, right? They're moving the ball around, right? Everyone has touched the ball, different formations. These kids understand their goal as an offense and what they're trying to do, and they do it well. This team's fun to watch when they have everything clicking.
1st and 10 from the 42. Barnett going to keep it. Tries to bounce to the outside to find some room, but nothing there. He's brought down by Carson Wolk for the Mentor Cardinals. 9 minutes to go here in the 1st quarter. Go ahead, Don.
Sorry. credit to the senior. Gets hit in the backfield, probably should have lost 2 there, falls to the line of scrimmage. It's 2nd and long, yes, but now still can pick up that first down. They prove that they can pick it up in 2 or less plays. Let's see what they do here.
2nd and long now. And looks like there was some movement on one side, and then they're going to put that against Mentor. They're going to call that encroachment. A couple linemen moved.
And see, that's how you know you have a veteran quarterback at the high school level, right? He's not set hut. He has an aggressive count, right? He's loud. It's echoing in their helmets, right? The offensive linemen, they know not to jump because they know Barnett's voice. But this D-line, it's echoing in that helmet, and they know how loud it is. Has them jumping offside. Smart play.
2nd and 5 now. Barnett going to throw again. Had a man open in the middle, and it's off his hands. Little bit out of his reach. Had to kind of lean backward to haul that one in. Gavin Moore, the intended receiver. Going to be 3rd and 5 now for Brunswick. First 3rd down of the night.
When you're trying to pull an upset off, those are the plays that you have to avoid. The throwing behind a guy, right? He's wide open. You can have a big chunk play, right? And we like those 10 plus, 12 plus, 15 plus gains at a time when you're the underdog. It shows that you're finding open spots in space. When you miss those opportunities, that's how you lose these underdog games, when you are indeed the underdog.
3rd and 5. Back in motion. Quick pass up the middle, and it's intercepted. Right place, right time. Drew Morgan for the Cardinals picks that one off, and that's going to stall the Blue Devils' drive. We'll see Mentor out on offense for the first time tonight.
Yeah, you know, Mentor didn't even do anything super crazy there, guys. Really what they did is they kind of stayed even on their feet. They kept everything in front of them, right? Brunswick was moving the ball. Don't get too anxious. Don't get too nervous. Let's just play our game, and things will fall in our place, and they take advantage of just a pass that deflected off of a lineman right into the hands of a linebacker. Smart there by Mentor.
1st and 10 on the 30 for Mentor. Shotgun formation. 3 receivers to the far side, 1 near. They're led by junior quarterback Brogan Jones. Single back in the backfield with him. Gets it. Handoff. Back's got it. Has some room to work. Cuts back inside. Shakes a man and brought down after a gain of just about 10. Think they're going to give him the first down. And that's Jackson Farley. First of many times I'm sure we'll hear his name tonight. Off to an excellent start this season. Also won the Keon Sports Jenny's Popcorn Player of the Week in Week 1 against Olmsted Falls. 34 carries, 377 yards in that game. 1st and 10 now for Mentor. This time, roll out by Jones, throws it, wide open receiver. He's got the first down plus a few, knocked out of bounds after the reception. And that was Brady Trivisano, senior wide receiver, on the reception. 2nd first down already for Mentor. They're moving this quick, now into Brunswick territory. 1st and 10. 8 minutes, 20 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Ball snapped. Handoff again. Farley's got room. He's got the first down. Little bit of space up the far side. Has to shrug off a couple more. Not quite able to do it. But another incredible run by Jackson Farley. And he's got Mentor in the red zone for the first time tonight. And this trip to the red zone is brought to you by the Kelly McLean Achievement Center. So 1st and goal from the 10. They need all 10 to convert.
Watch this push that this offensive line gets initially here. It's so impressive.
Ball snapped. Handoff again. Farley bouncing to the outside. Fights his way through and dives in. Touchdown, Mentor.
You're right on cue there, Dom. The offensive line got an immediate 2 to 3 yard push so Jackson Farley could pick wherever he wanted to go. Chose to bounce outside to the left, found his spot, got into the end zone for 6, and Mentor takes an early 6-0 lead.
And we talked about it pregame, but 3 D1 offensive lineman recruits for Mentor. And then on top of that, you've got Jackson Farley. So got to imagine that run game is going to get featured quite a bit tonight. Able to do quite literally whatever they wanted on that first drive. Ball's down, extra point is up, and it is good. That was Tristan Swigert, the kicker, also a wide receiver. 7 minutes, 55 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Mentor takes an early 7-0 lead. So Brunswick going to get another opportunity. They were actually moving the ball pretty well. Got into Mentor territory, stalled out when they hit their first third down. Barnett threw an interception, but they'll get a chance at redemption. Offense will have to be clicking tonight if they want a chance to pull off the upset.
And that's one of, if not the only kind of weakness that Mentor has, is their defense. They've given up 20 points per game early, and they played a tough schedule early. It's been Olmsted Falls, St. Ignatius, and a team from Erie, from the Erie area. So it's not like they've played any kind of soft schedule, but they have already been giving up, like I said, 20 points per game. And Brunswick showed that they can move the ball on this defense. It was just back-to-back plays on early in that drive, or late in that drive, where Barnett just didn't hit his guy and ended up in an interception.
And head coach Matt Gray made mention of that at the beginning of the season, talking about his team, that they did graduate a lot of players on that defense. It's a young unit. They're still confident in them, but obviously something they need to focus on this season as a lot of these guys get experience. Kick is up again, deep. This time will bounce out of the back of the end zone. Oh, touchback. Brunswick brings their offense back out onto the field.
So if you're Brunswick, right, you're gonna have a tough night on defense, right? But we already knew that, right? That's no surprise, right? If you're the Brunswick coaching staff, you knew that defensive-wise, you're gonna struggle. This team is one of the best offensive teams. Let's be real, in the state of Ohio in Division I, it's no secret. But what you can do, keep the ball out of their hands, right? See if you can steal some drives on offense and go from there. Take it one play, one drive at a time. See what you can steal here, and it starts with a touchdown. If you can tie this game up, you're all good and all set to go.
1st and 10, going to be a handoff, looking to find some room up the strong side. That's number 21 on the carry, Cohen Issa for Brunswick.
I think that was a name that threw you off last year too, Brandon.
It absolutely was.
And that's okay. 99% of names I cannot pronounce. And we've seen that here before.
That is all right. We are human. Feel free to let us know in the comments if we happen to get a name wrong. Going to be 2nd down now for Brunswick. Quarterback rolling out, facing pressure again, escapes the first one, throws it, has a receiver, has to dive for it, and doesn't quite get there, incomplete. Barnett a couple times on these rollouts, facing some heavy pressure from this Mentor front four. No sacks on the night so far. He's done a good job escaping. It'll be 3rd down and 8 for Brunswick.
Todd Barnett was hurt there, but I think his wrist coach fell off and he's fixed it. They call everything at the line. Looks like that wrist coach makes a call.
3rd down. Barnett, ready? Looking, drop back. Facing pressure, he's going to get brought down. The Mentor front line getting through and starting to let their presence be felt. It's going to be 4th down now for Brunswick. And
something happened, though, because Brunswick is pointing as if they're moving. So something happened.
It did seem like a bit of an odd snap. Like
yeah,
players were moving before. Yeah, they did end up calling. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm assuming that play will not count.
So defensive holding they're going to call. So that negates the sack, and that's a fresh set of downs for Brunswick. Huge turn of events for the Blue Devils, as they'll never have another opportunity. And 3 more downs.
Yeah, you get bailed out by that call, but sometimes you need a little boost, and that's okay. Now they can get back to what they're doing best. It's moving the ball around, moving the ball out of the pocket.
1st and 10 from the 32. Man in motion. Barnett, quick throw, has it on the receiver screen, but runs into his blockers. He maybe picks up a yard. That was number 14, Aiden Everett, on the reception.
See, I know I'm the screen hater on these broadcasts, but those are the type of screens that I enjoy thoroughly, is when it's kind of quick downhill. You have multiple blockers running in front. Not like when it's a bubble screen and the guy's isolated and it's replacing a run. That's not replacing a run. That's meant to get a big gain there. But hey, you get 1 or 2, that's okay for now. So that will open up later in the game.
Now under 6 minutes left in the first quarter. 2nd down and 8. Barnett by himself again. Snaps, he's going to roll out. Has a man open in the flat, but he's looking to go deeper. Makes a man miss. He's now going to take off. Brought down after a gain of 4. Was looking for a deeper target there, but ran out of time. Still able to make something happen with his legs. It's going to be 3rd and 6 for the Blue Devils. Brunswick trying not to stall here again, trailing 7-0 early to Mentor. 2 backs in the backfield. 1 now in motion. Barnett gonna keep it himself on the fake handoff, and he's got nowhere to go. Mentor all over that one. That was Carson Wolk again in on the tackle. 4th down for Brunswick. Not worth taking the risk this deep in their own territory still. We're now under 5 minutes in the quarter. Some adjustments for the punt team. They bring everybody in as Mentor showing pressure. They do back off. That punt is up and away. Seavers got it. 25, got a little bit of room. He's now past midfield, big block downfield, and he's got open space in front of him. Will he make it? And I think he was brought down just short. Electric return by Mentor. All the way down to the 1-yard line. Oh my goodness. Let's go ahead and get this out of the way. This trip to the red zone brought to you by the Kelly McLean Achievement Center. Dom, you look like you're doing some math.
Yeah, it's probably wrong. 74 yards?
Oh my goodness.
They say that with a question mark because math and Dom don't go together, folks.
That's all right. We love you all the same. 1st and goal from the 1 for Mentor. Feels like everyone in the stadium knows where this ball is going. We're now set. Ball snapped low, but given right to Farley, and that's a touchdown for Mentor.
I like that offensive lineman getting low, letting him dive over. It reminds me of Varsity Blues when they have that montage in the district championship where they're playing every little thing counts, and there's all the montages of diving over the line of scrimmage, get to the touchdown. That's what that reminds me of there. Farley's so good. I mean, he only had to gain 1 yard on that possession. Made it easy for him.
I think we've gotten a Varsity Blues reference every game so far this year.
And you continue to get that. I love that movie.
Line up now for the extra point. Kick is up, and it is good. Tristan Swigert again on the PAT. 4 minutes, 8 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Brunswick Blue Devils trailing the Mentor Cardinals 14-0.
But I want to point something out on that punt from Brunswick. We saw something we rarely ever see in high school. Brunswick's punter, Vinny DiTeodoro, was punting from right around his own 25, and the returner was set up at the opposite 20-yard line. Vinny DiTeodoro, 4.5-star kicker, 4-star punter. He has an absolute leg. So he got that probably about a 50-yard punt, but the return negated all of it and then some.
Yeah, and again, we've mentioned him quite a bit. He was a great kicker for Brunswick last year. Did you say 4.5-star recruit, if I remember correctly? So we'll be calling his name a lot tonight. Hasn't had an opportunity to kick a field goal just yet, but again, huge leg on Vinny.
You know, I got to play with some really good kickers in high school. Played with the guy that punted at Penn State, one guy that went to Pitt and Oregon State, and then, funny enough, the guy that went to Pitt, his younger brother actually replaced him at Pitt and became the quick kicker, most accurate kicker in 2021 in the ACC. So I played some good guys at the high school level, ended up playing at the next level, and I'll tell you what, when you can have a good kicker or punter, it can change everything in the high school game.
Oh, absolutely. That's a Grammatica situation. Brother replacing brother. So that kick is up and deep again. Well out of the back of the end zone. So that'll be a touchback. And there is a flag on the play. Despite that not being returned. We'll see what the officials come up with here. They've tossed the flag back. Still no announcement yet. And it does look like it's going to be against Brunswick. Call that a personal foul, so they're going to start back at the 10-yard line now. Tough break for Brunswick. Trailing 14-0 at home.
That's 2 out of the 3 kickoffs now that Brunswick has been receiving. That they had a penalty. It was the opening kickoff. They had a 10-yard holding penalty that took them back 10 yards and really could have cost them an easy chip shot field goal later in the drive if that interception never happened. But again, here with the personal foul on a kick that was well out of the back of the end zone, just got to clean those mistakes up.
1st and 10 from their own 10. Barnett, handoff, back, following his blockers, but a big hit in on the play. And once again, Carson Wolk finding a way to penetrate that line over and over again. 3rd time we've called his name tonight. The senior linebacker for Mentor, 6'2", 220. Making his presence felt.
We could have multiple guys running for that shield here today on defense. You already have an INT. You have Carson Wolk, who has made multiple tackles. A few players making their names noticed early for Mentor.
2nd and 10. Wolk rushing again. Deep pass for Brunswick. Has a man up the sideline, but just overthrows him. Gavin Bullock, the intended receiver. Again, Mentor not afraid to send extra pressure. Going to be 3rd down now. And Dom mentioned the shield. If you folks are wondering what he means, at the end of the game, we're going to give out 2 Player of the Game awards. One from the Cement Mason Local 404 Union, one from Mickey's, one for an offensive player, one for a defensive player. So let us know in the YouTube comments who you think's deserving. 3rd down now. Barnett rolling out, facing pressure, gets it out, has a receiver. He is right at. No, they're going to give it to him. 1st down for Brunswick. Landon Kirkner on the reception. Good job there by Barnett. Several rushers on him. Able to keep the legs moving, able to keep the drive going.
If he just feels comfortable in that pocket, or the pocket he creates when he moves out of it, if he can just get comfortable, right? He's had a hard time because there's always been a Cardinal in his face, and he can just read the defense the way that he can and the team's taught him to. Boy, is he dangerous. He just hasn't had the time.
Under 3 minutes now in the 1st quarter. 1st and 10. Handoff. Backs got it. Makes a couple men miss and can't quite get over that last defender as Drew Morgan gets in there to bring him down. And we also have got a flag on the play.
Yeah, they're going to get a block in the back on Brunswick. As the receiver was stretching it outside, they got a easy look. The refs did at a block in the back for Brunswick here.
Another tough break for the Blue Devils. And no movement yet. Now they're calling it. And they're going to call that holding.
So Marvel, you confused me there for a minute when you said block in the back. So block in the back cannot happen behind the line of scrimmage. They can only happen downfield. That's where you confused me there. So that was a holding call there. People don't know that, actually. That's like a rule in football people aren't aware of, that you cannot block in the back behind the line of scrimmage. It's a weird rule.
So 1st and 20 now from their own 14.
It's one of those little technicalities that I
It's
never realized.
It's something you would never realize unless, like, you got confused why block in the back isn't being called on you.
Whistle blown. We're ready. Barnett's got it. Rolling out, looking to pass. Goes back to the other side. Has his receiver, but nothing there to work with. Gavin Bullock on the reception. Tried a little halfback screen. Still going to be a lot of yardage to pick up.
Marvel, you remember when the coach of Mentor told us how well his team prepares? That play shows how well they're prepared. They knew that screen was coming, right? He knew his read. He stopped, looked, okay, the running back, no one blocked me, and there's a running back running next to me, and the quarterback's looking his way. This is a screenplay. I got to turn and go, and he did a great job at it.
2nd and 22 now. Going to throw a quick pass up the middle. Back's trying to find something. Cutting his way up. He knocked out right past the 15-yard line. That was Landon Kirkner on the reception there. 3rd and still very long for Brunswick, trying to get something on a screen. Break open a lane. Hasn't happened yet. Now they're going to have to pick it all up here if they want to keep this drive alive.
That's another play that I like. Sorry, I hit you with my stat.
How
I don't know why I
dare
did
you.
that. That's called an alley screen. You have the offensive lineman going downfield, and you have a running back there or wide receiver in the line of scrimmage trying to create space.
3rd and 17. Barnett looking to throw deep. Has to step up, facing pressure. Throws it away as he's brought to the ground. That time, Ben Schneck was in on the pressure. But good job there by Barnett to get that ball out. That's going to be 4th down and 17. Minute 28 to go now in the first quarter. Folks, make sure you're sticking around for halftime and the postgame. Halftime show will be brought to you by the Cement Mason Local 404 Union, and will be brought to you also by our very own Dom Clary, as he'll take you all across the world of Northeast Ohio high school football, get you updates from every big game. As that punt is up, another booming punt. Returner has to back way up as he now picks that up at the 20. And fighting for some yards, brought down about the 33-yard line. And they were not expecting I am so sorry, Teodoro. I'm sure I'm saying that wrong. Another beautiful kick. Again, you mentioned, Marvel, they were lined up for that previously, and it worked out. That time, Mentor seemed completely caught off guard.
Yeah, that was about a 60-yard punt there from Teodoro. Again, not something you see often at the high school level.
And so far, that's making a difference here, as despite being backed up on their own 17, they get this away. Mentor now going to be in their own territory to get things going. 1st and 10 from the 33. Brogan Jones with 2 running backs in the backfield. Claps, he's ready. They got the snap. He's going to throw this time up the middle of the field and off the hands. Couldn't quite bring it in. Justin Hodge that time, the intended receiver. Right off the fingertips.
That is not a thing you see from Justin Hodge, is it?
Not often.
That is a player that when the ball goes his way, you expect him not just to bring it down, but to add on 5, 10, 15, heck, even a touchdown. Super talented player, one of the best wide receivers we've seen since doing the live stream in the past, 4 or 5 years now. You do not expect him to drop that ball.
2nd and 10 now. Ball snap. It's going to be a handoff. Really nowhere to go. Brunswick ready for that one. And Dominic Burns that time, the ball carrier.
Great name. Let's see if he spells it right. He does not. 2 eyes for Dominic Burns.
Well, he's out. Farley back in. 3rd and 11. Lost a yard on that one. And they stop, get the call in from the sideline. Back flips. Brogan Jones now sets. Ready, gets the snap. Dropping back, looking, throws up the middle again. This time, receiver hauls it in. Justin Hodge wasn't going to make the same mistake twice. And I apologize. That was Brady Trevisano hauled that one in. I'm seeing that. They were right next to each other.
No, that was Hodge. That was number
Hodge.
1.
Okay. Yeah. I'm second guessing myself.
You are. It's okay. We got your back, Brandon.
1st and 10 from the 44. They're going to throw again. Quarterback rolls out, throws deep, has a receiver open. And did he stay in bounds? They're going to say he did. Justin Hodge once again hauls it in. We're now into the red zone. This trip to the red zone is brought to you by the Kelly McLean Achievement Center. So far this time, Brogan Jones and Justin Hodge making things happen. Now 1st and 10 from the 17. Ball is snapped. A little bit low, but handed off to Farley. Bounces to the outside, and no one's gonna get him. Touchdown, Mentor. 3 touchdowns on the night already for Jackson Farley. 6 seconds left here in the first quarter. So 20-0 pending the extra point. Mentor, 3 offensive drives, 3 touchdowns. We'll try to make it 3 straight extra points as well. Ball down, kick is up. It is good. And 21-0 early in this game in favor of Mentor. And Brunswick had a good first drive before throwing an interception. Since then, it has been all Mentor Cardinals.
We saw a lot of Justin Hodge featured on that previous drive. And Justin Hodge was Scotty Fox's #1 target last year. Still the #1 target for this Mentor offense. Commit to Miami of Ohio. And a guy like Dom mentioned, you don't see a lot of drops from. He had the one, got it out of his system, made 2 big catches on the rest of that drive, and now they find themselves in the end zone again, now with a 21-0 lead.
We'll see. Likely to get a kickoff, maybe 1 play before the end of the first. Another reminder, folks, start letting us know who you think is deserving of the Cement Masons and Mickey's Players of the Game. Let us know in the YouTube chat. We count all the votes from there. We obviously have votes ourselves as a broadcast crew, but we'd love to hear your opinion. You can get those votes in all the way through, about 2 minutes left in the 4th quarter, but no reason not to start getting those in now for Brunswick or for Mentor. That kick is up and away, and that will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we'll get 1 more play before this quarter ends. Brunswick now coming out for the 4th time. Still looking for points. Offense has been able to move in spurts. Have also taken advantage of a couple defensive penalties for Mentor. Just haven't quite been able to get on that scoreboard.
You know, there's talent on this side, on Brunswick's side. Right now, they got to find a way to unlock it in chunks and unlock it quick, or they're going to fall too far behind. And they are looking down the railroad tracks, and it is not looking good for them right now. They need to get moving quick.
1st and 10 from their own 20. This time Barnett under center for the first time tonight.
Power high, Brandon.
And they're going to run it right up the gut. Good blocking, powerful run. Picks up a small chunk. And that's going to do it for the first quarter, folks. You're watching the Keon Sports High School Football Game of the Week, where the Mentor Cardinals currently leading the Brunswick Blue Devils 21-0. We'll be right back after these messages.
This week's Keon Sports Game of the Week is brought to you by Frankie's Italian Cuisine. Looking for a place to enjoy a post-game meal? Love Italian food? Frankie's Italian Cuisine has you covered from meatball to lasagna. Visit them tonight at 4641 Great Northern Boulevard in North Olmsted and taste the 50-plus years of legacy for yourself. Maxim Lacrosse. Maxim Lacrosse will demand players embody the game by giving and receiving respect and understanding that character counts.
Run some type of rule out here if they're going to pass it, but there is an overhang on the right. They need to be careful.
Roxandich, the keeper, up the middle, keeps the legs churning, and he fought for that football. It was nearly ripped out of his hands by the edge rusher there. That was defensive end number 53, Rodney Harris, who nearly ripped that out of the arms of Roxandich, and Roxandich said, nope, give me that. I'm holding on to this, and reaches that arm towards the plane, broke it, and that's a touchdown and now a lead for the Blue Devils.
And we're back for the start of the second quarter. It's the Keon Sports High School Football Game of the Week. Mentor Cardinals visiting the Brunswick Blue Devils. It's been all Mentor so far. They lead 21-0. 2nd and 5 for Brunswick. Barnett gonna hand it off. Back's got it. Lowers the shoulder pad, but can't get any further. Down for a short loss on that one. That was Eli Nichols. 3rd and 6 now for Brunswick. Good.
Ben Shank was one of the ones credited with that play for the Mentor Cardinals, and he and Carson Wolk, who we've heard a few times already tonight, coming into tonight, leading the Mentor Cardinals in tackles with 29 total.
3rd and 6. Barnett dropping back, throws up the middle, has a receiver hit hard, but he hangs on to it. Koeniasa. Great job getting the separation and then hanging onto the ball. Pops right back up. He's pumped. That's going to move the chains for the Blue Devils.
As the great Charles Davis says on the Madden games, if you're going to get hit, you might as well hold on to the ball. Great job by that young man of holding on to it with the big hit.
1st and 10 now from the 42. It'll be a quick screen. Back's got a little bit of space this time as the first down and a couple. And now all of a sudden this Blue Devils offense is moving. Eli Nichols on the reception.
So we actually saw Wadsworth do that 2 years ago, where they would run this option, and then instead of a pitch, it would be a pass that was on that halfback swing route. So we've seen this before. It was the team we saw last week, 2 years ago.
1st and 10 now on the 45 into Mentor territory for the 2nd time tonight. Barnett's got it, rolling out, finds a lane, moves his way up, pushes a defender down, only picks up a couple, but imposing his will there.
He ran that ball like Eli Holstein of the Pitt Panthers did all last season. If you're going to run like a quarterback, you need to run aggressively and lower that shoulder. Let them pay for wanting to hit the quarterback. And hey, you're the quarterback, so might as well do it yourself.
So no Steeler reference, but a Pitt Panther reference. Still Pittsburgh football.
It's Brawl Week, Brandon. Got to get ready for it tomorrow at 3:30.
That's true. And we mentioned previous Mentor quarterback Scotty Fox possibly getting some action in that one. We'll see. 2nd and 8. High snap, but brings it in with one hand. It's a handoff, picks up a yard there. Credit to Barnett for not losing control of that. Eli Nichols again on the run.
You know, if things get ugly tomorrow, we very well could see Scotty Fox be in a competition to be that starting quarterback over there. That'd be fun to see him for the next 4 years for the Mountaineers, wouldn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. Again, we just saw him finish his campaign with Mentor. 4 years a starter there. If he get 4 years at the college level, who knows what could be in store for him. Best of luck to Scotty Fox. 3rd and 7. Rollout. Barnett looking, throws deep up the middle of the field. Had a receiver, but that's deflected out of his hands. Justin Hodge once again making a play.
So that was Xavion Dunn there, number 7.
I do apologize, yeah.
It's those jersey numbers.
It really is. I'll take the blame for that one. Xavion Dunn deserved to have his name shouted there because he got one hand in to get it away from Gavin Moore. 4th down now for Brunswick. Offense going to stay out there.
That was a stellar defensive play, Brandon.
Man in motion. Barnett going to pass it back, and it's punted. The rare fake punt, but it might work out in Brunswick's favor, and no, that's going to roll back into the end zone. Nearly pulled it off.
So, I've never seen that before.
That looks risky.
Yeah, so what I'm going to assume what that was, right, is that's a pitch, and it's a, hey, if it's open, go. But if it's not, punt that ball into an oblivion. I like that idea. It's essentially just a rugby punt, but a lot riskier. I enjoy that. I say keep doing that because that's fun. I love what they do at Brunswick. I understand the score's not reflecting things I'm saying. I get it. Boy, are they fun play calling wise and creativity wise. And the players do a good job understanding and executing it pretty well. They're just currently getting outmatched by a really, really talented Mentor team that could go to the state championship this year. That's how good it is.
1st and 10 now for Mentor. We'll start on the 20. Quick halfback screen. He's got it. Past the 10. Down after a gain of 15. Again, Mentor not afraid to throw the ball early here. That was number 20 on the reception, Dominic Burns.
I mean, it's impressive, this offensive line. This defensive line for Brunswick's not even getting a push.
1st and 10 from the 35. Another handoff. Back's got it. Stumbles, but stays on his feet. Flag on the field. Still pushing forward. And he's got enough for a 1st down, but let's see what that flag was. It's thrown near the line of scrimmage. 3 flags down on the field from what I can see. So something egregious happened.
It's like the near side ref is motioning a face mask towards the Brunswick sideline, and
And we're going to replay the down. So we're waiting for confirmation. And yeah, we're going to call those offsetting. So it'll be 1st and 10 again. Dominic Burns still in at running back. Whistle blows. Jones ready. They stop, getting the call from the sideline. He's got 1 back in the backfield, 3 receivers near, 1 to the far side. Ball snapped, handed off. Burns has it up the middle. Not quite as successful this time. Still picks up 5, but another flag on the field.
flags are starting to become an issue now for both sides.
Let's see what they call this. Again, we had offsetting penalties the play previous.
It's like a face mask on Brunswick.
Yep, they're going to move that up. That's going to push them now all the way into Brunswick territory. 1st and 10 now from the 46. Eight minutes, 14 seconds to go here in the 2nd quarter. Ball snapped. Gonna throw. Looking deep down the middle again. Has his receiver, Justin Hodge, once again. As Mentor continues to go to the well. That moves him into the red zone. This trip to the red zone brought to you by the Kelly McLean Achievement Center.
Did anyone see where they threw that ball from, gentlemen? As I was working on some stuff, where that
It's about the 45.
All right, thank
Their
you.
own, or sorry, Brunswick's 45.
Thank you.
You're welcome. 1st and 10 now from the 15. So that's 30 yards down, so you're aware.
Thank you, thank you.
Low snap, handed off. Back has some space on the far side of the field. Brought down right around the 5-yard line. They're going to put it at the 6. It's enough for a 1st down. Oh, no, it is not. They moved the 1 marker. Still 2nd and very short. Got an official timeout as they get a couple things sorted here. Men are looking to go up 4 possessions. Still plenty of time in this one. 7:24 in the 2nd quarter. It looks like we're good to go. 2 backs in the backfield with Brogan Jones, the junior quarterback. Brunswick now stepping up, showing pressure.
And they're going to send it. Rush right up the middle, and they're going to give it to him. Touchdown, Mentor. Looked like he might have fallen just short, but the second effort gets him over the line. 4th touchdown of the night for Mentor.
The first time it's not Farley. We have a new guy running the ball and getting paid dirt. Dominic Burns. Phenomenal job by him.
And Burns was featured quite a bit on that drive, and just as effective as Farley has been tonight. So again, this offensive line doing great work. The running backs doing their job as well. And then Brogan Jones keeping the ball moving, picking up big chunks in the passing game when he needs to. As that PAT is up, and it is good. Danny Cristo, the kicker. The freshman for Mentor. 7:05 to go in the second quarter. Mentor 28, Brunswick 0. Brunswick will get another chance here. Folks, make sure you stick around for the Cement Mason Local 404 halftime show with our very own Dom Clary. As I'll recap what we've seen so far tonight. And on top of that, he's going to take you all around the world of Northeast Ohio high school football, give you updated on all the scores, all the big games. And then, of course, folks, if that's not enough, you want to go on after the game and see, division play has started, conference play has started. How are the rest of the teams doing? Go on keonsports.com. We have writers all over Northeast Ohio tonight covering games, usually 20, 25 plus games covered. So make sure you check that out. There's no better source, no more comprehensive source for high school football recaps than keonsports.com. Not too bad on the college front either, as again, Dom runs our MAC coverage. His team will be out and about tomorrow for MACtion.
Ohio State hosts Ohio, who sent West Virginia crying last week. So
they did.
Maybe Ohio does it again. First time in over a decade they're at Ohio State. Last time they were there, the Bobcat fought the Buckeye. And I'm not joking. He literally tackled the Buckeye.
Be fun to see that again. That kick is up and away. Fielded this time at the 7. Turner up to the 30 now. Cuts to the 40. Finally brought down around the 43-yard line. That was number 10 on the return. Anthony Gamboa, the sophomore wide receiver, defensive back. That's going to be the best starting field position of the night for Brunswick. As it looks like they marked him out right about the 39-yard line. A big opportunity now for the Blue Devils. Again, we mentioned the kicker, Vinny DiTeodoro, who's got the range if they could just get them onto the Mentor side of the field to put up some points. 1st and 10 from the 30. Oh, sorry. Plays up. Running backs got it. Really nowhere to go there. Going to give him a gain of 2. And we've got a flag after the play. That was Gavin Bollock, by the way, on the carry for Brunswick. Some discussion on the field, but it looks like that's going against Brunswick. So that short gain negated and then some. Unsportsmanlike conduct. Kind of had a feeling that's what it was going to be, considering how late that flag was thrown. Thinking something was said that the referee was right kind of in the middle of that scrum kerfluffle, whatever we want to call it. Didn't count the number of players we had there. Something around there.
Maybe a magic word or two was said, because there was not a lot of pushing or shoving I saw after the play, but sometimes when they're that close to the ref, something may have been said that makes that flag go flying up in the air.
Well, regardless, that's a 15-yard penalty, and with it being after the play, they lose the down as well. 2nd and 23. Quarterback has it. Wide receiver screen immediately, though. Running into 2 defenders. Mentor knew exactly what was coming.
This team, they scout well. They're smart. They're well prepared. You can be successful with the play once, but boy, you'll be lucky if you can do that twice.
Again, all over that. Not 1, but 2 defenders
keying in on it. As we tick now under 6 minutes to go in the first half. 3rd down and 22 for Brunswick. Ball snapped. Quarterback rolling out. Has some space in front of him. Now facing pressure. Can't find anything. Tries to throw it away, but that's intercepted.
That's an incredible play.
Drew Morgan, the senior.
That's his second pick today.
2 picks for Brunswick, both to Morgan. And that time, my goodness, Sean Barnett could have just run out of bounds, tried to get it out at the last second, which he's done very well tonight, escaping the negative play, the sacks. But that time just didn't quite put enough on it. Now Mentor is going to have it in Brunswick territory.
And he did have a receiver a few yards further upfield from where the ball ended up. But Morgan came from the middle of the field, came flying over, caught the ball, and made a toe tap catch to stay in bounds. That's a catch in the NFL.
1st and 10 from the 36 of Brunswick. Gonna look to throw. Pressure coming, and he's not gonna get away. He drops the ball. They're fighting for that one. It's gonna be close. No real indication yet, but it does look like, yes, Mentor is gonna hang on to that. Brogan Jones sacked and fumbled, luckily able to fall on top of that. Rusher came from the blind side, never saw him till it was much too late, tried to run out. Avoids a disastrous play, though.
And guess who? It was Eli Nichols. He's good off that edge, man, especially when you're not expecting him on. I mean, he's not even on the blind side. He's on that front side there. Just a great pass rusher for sure.
2nd and 15 now. Going to be a handoff in the back. Has plenty of room following a blocker. Makes one man miss. And nearly picks up the 1st down. Negating the sack there. It's going to be 3rd and short for Mentor. And you are right, Dom. Not the blind side, but quarterback was looking to the other side of the field, trying to find someone. He never saw Nichols coming. Nichols, again, being featured pretty prominently on both sides of the ball tonight, which we expected. 3rd and 2. Handoff. Burns has it. He'll have the 1st down and a couple. Go ahead and move those chains for Mentor. Nearly into the red zone for the 5th time tonight. Been a balanced attack so far. A lot of running from Mentor, but not afraid to open it up with the pass game when they've needed it to. 1st and 10 now. Jones sets. Ready, hands it off. Back up the middle of the field. Burns again on the carry. Gets it up to the 18-yard line. Again, a lot of Burns. Doesn't look like they are putting Farley out there much right now.
And we have our 3rd running back on the day. That's number 32, who's now in the game, Braylon Callahan. So 1st time we're seeing him, but the previous play was Burns.
Callahan, the sophomore. So plenty of guys getting touches tonight. Deep running back room. Callahan stays out there. 2nd and 5. He'll get it again as he tries to find some space. Cuts up the middle. He'll be very close to the 1st down marker.
You know, one thing that we see a lot of young running backs have a problem with is they always try to bounce it outside. You know, it's inside zone. He gets to the outside, and then boom, immediately tries turning up inside. Smart there by the young sophomore who's now taken out for Dominic Burns.
And a holding penalty on Mentor. Going to bring this one back. I don't know where the cheering was coming from on the Brunswick side after that, and that explains it. Be 2nd and 11 now. Now down to 3 minutes left in the half. Man in motion. Quarterback's got it. Looking up the middle. Had a receiver. Bounced off his hands. We've seen that a couple times tonight from the Mentor receivers.
Looked like he had Logan Burwald there right in the middle of the field. Just maybe a little bit too high. Just tipped off the fingertips there and could have been intercepted. Falls incomplete.
It'll be 3rd and long now. Not many opportunities so far tonight for Brunswick to get Mentor off the field. Could be a big one here. And pressure right up the middle of the field, but that's complete to the running back. Slips the first set of defenders. He's got the first down. He's still going. Brought down at the 5-yard line. Dominic Burns again. If the first defender would have gotten him down, it would have been 4th down, but able to keep the legs churning. Now 1st and goal. This trip to the red zone is brought to you by the Kelly McLean Achievement Center. 1st and goal from the 5 now for Mentor. 2 backs in the backfield. Ball snapped. Handoff. Burns. Up the middle. Nowhere to go for him that time. As the Blue Devils defense stands strong. Maybe picks up a couple on that. He'll give him 1, 2nd and 4. Clock continues to run. 2nd and goal now from the 4. Brogan Jones sets. He's ready. Ball snapped. Handed off. And he's going to get met at the line. Good job penetrating by the Blue Devil defense. A couple guys got in the backfield, dragging him from behind. Couple hit him from the front. Nowhere to go. 3rd down for Mentor. So Blue Devils defense showing up when they need to. 3rd and goal now from the 4. Ball snapped. They're going to throw it this time. Has a receiver open. Touchdown, Mentor. Justin Hodge on the reception. First passing touchdown of the night for the Cardinals. It was 3 runs. Couldn't get anything going. Decided to open up with a pass play. And that was enough. 34-0 pending the extra point. Danny Cristo in to attempt the extra point for the Cardinals. Ball is up, and it is good. So 1 minute, 39 seconds to go here in the first half. The Mentor Cardinals currently leading the Brunswick Blue Devils 35-0.
This Mentor offense, it's been able to do whatever it wants all game long so far, and it all starts with that offensive line that we've talked so much about already throughout this first half. And nothing taking away from Jackson Farley or Dominic Burns, but all 3 running backs that they've had in the game have been able to pick up chunk plays and get an early push from that offensive line that they gives them. That way they could see their hole a lot better, a lot easier. Pick it, go, and pick up as much yardage as you need to and break tackles as you go.
You got an excellent play by the offensive line tonight for Mentor. Again, mentioned that pregame. That has definitely been the case. But again, everyone playing well on this Cardinals team. Folks, just as a reminder, if this score stands going into halftime, a lead of 30 or more does mean a running clock, which means we would start the second half of play with a running clock that would not start yet. Brunswick will have another opportunity before halftime. Mentor will also be receiving to start the second half. Ready to kick this one off. That is up and away and deep and out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
You know, I didn't say it last week. I wanted to, but I am going to say it this week. I think we could be seeing a team that very well could be in the semifinals, if not the state championship game. This is one of the most dominating offensive lines I have ever seen at this level outside of Ed's 2 years ago. I mean, I truly mean that. Like, that's not fun. I mean, they are making it where the running back doesn't even have to hit the hole until 4 yards down the field. That's impressive.
1st and 10 now. Barnett going to hand it off, but nothing to do there as that back's brought down in the backfield. And I do agree with you, Dom, because, again, it's not a one-dimensional team. Like you said, it's the offensive line. We've seen multiple running backs be able to be successful behind this line. The junior quarterback in his first year starting has been sharp. He's been accurate. He's been able to push the ball down the field. Again, the only question mark up to this game has been the defense. And so far tonight, you can't really complain. They haven't given up any points yet. Still have another half of football to play, so we'll see if that holds. But you're absolutely correct. They were 13-1 last year. It's no coincidence. I know they had Scotty Fox, which is a very big part of that. But you still need a complete team around you to be that good for your only loss to be to St. Ed's, who is a perennial state championship participant.
No, it's hard in this area, right? Because some of the teams that we cover don't have an actual like youth program. Like Normandy, they don't really have a youth program that goes through Normandy. It's through the city. It's hard for them to be directly involved. It's difficult for them. It's mainly ran by like Padua, right? But if you're Mentor, you have the largest school district in Northeast Ohio for a public school, which means you have a lot of kids to bring along into the program at the youth level, kids to teach, different teams that you can go to and teach them your system to bring up. We talked to North Ridgeville about this and that they're starting to develop that, and you already see the fruits of their labor paying off, that they're just rebuilding and retooling. Mentor has been doing that for decades.
2nd and 12 now, minute 30 to go here in the first half. Barnett's going to throw it into traffic. Receiver's got it, still dragging a man behind him. That ball was put in danger, but good job that time getting it into a tight window, and Eli Nichols on the reception. Now going to be 3rd and a couple. We'll get another timeout for Mentor.
That's
They're
incredible.
hoping to get the ball back.
That's incredible concentration by Nichols to hold in that catch, because that ball almost got batted down at the line. If not, it may have been tipped. And then all those players in one small area to still find the ball, catch it, and then drag his defender a few yards and nearly pick up a first down.
Mentor again calling the timeout. They're hoping to get the ball back here. Brunswick only needs a couple yards to convert. Again, as mentioned, Mentor will get the ball to start the second half. And one more reminder, stick around for the Cement Mason Local 404 halftime show with our very own Dom Clary.
That's me.
That is Dom. You hear his beautiful voice. I'll give you scoring updates from all over Northeast Ohio, high school football, maybe even Pennsylvania, where he played some
There
high
will
school
be
ball.
a Pennsylvania update.
Oh, look
Huge.
at that teaser.
The biggest rivalry in District 10 happens today, so we're going to talk about that.
So if you are a Pennsylvania football fan, we left you off on that cliffhanger. Stick around to see which teams he may be talking about.
And hint, it's the one I went to.
It's a big hint. If you go back and look, you'll be able to find it. Just watch all of our broadcasts. You'll find Dom mentioning it at least once or twice.
We have about 5 years. If you also go back on Podbean, you'll find some there too.
3rd and 2. Barnett under center. It's going to be a play action pass deep up the middle of the field. Receivers open and just overthrown. Nearly had it. He would have had some room in front of him as well. Gavin Moore, the intended receiver. They're going to be 4th down. The punting unit's going to come out for Brunswick. Don't count out Mentor scoring again here. They still have one timeout and 1 minute and 8 seconds to work.
Now, this is a team they can hit quick. They want to add just one more score to the board. Add a little bit more cushion to that mercy roll.
Teodoro on the punt. He's had a couple booming punts tonight. This one a little bit higher. A little more hang time. It's going to bounce around the 40. That's where Brunswick's going to pick it up. So 56 seconds and one timeout is what Brogan Jones and the Mentor Cardinals offense will have to work with before the half
plenty of
ends.
time for them, Brandon.
Absolutely. We've seen them make big plays in the passing game when they've needed to, but again, everything's been anchored around that offensive line and the very effective running game that they've put together tonight. Hard to stop everything. You can't key in on everyone at once, so when you have a team that can do both, just makes it that much more difficult to slow them down. 1st and 10 from the 34. Jones single back in the backfield. Ball snapped. He's got it.
There was a delayed handoff. Backs got it for the first down and much more. Edge rusher nearly got back and tried sacking Jones. He was fooled by that handoff. 1st and 10. Get it off quickly. Going to be a throw this time. Brogan Jones scrambling, looking for his receiver. Tight window, not quite able to get it to him. That was Brady Trevisano, the intended receiver.
There's a flag right at the line of scrimmage.
We'll see
where this is going.
See what that is. Anthony Gamboa, by the way, on the coverage for Brunswick, did a good job shadowing him. Based on the reaction of the Brunswick coaching staff, sounds like it might be going against the Blue Devils, and it is. That'll push Mentor further up. They've got 43 seconds, still have that timeout in their back pocket. "37-yard line is where they'll get pushed up to after the Blue Devil defensive penalty. Jones has it, takes the snap. Wide receiver screen. Brunswick in the backfield for it, though. They're going to bring him down for a loss. Great job by that time. Brunswick diagnosing that screen. Mentor will use their timeout there.
One of their best defensive plays all day where they really snuffed that out. Good effort there by the secondary for the Blue Devils.
36 seconds to go now, but again, that timeout has been burned. It'll be 2nd and 14 when they reset. We've seen they want to make it happen with the pass so far this drive, and now with no timeouts, they may have to keep going to that well. A lot of their success has been up the middle of the field as well, so interested to see if they change up that strategy. They are unable to stop the clock other than with a spike. They will also stop it if the chains have to move. But now it is 2nd and 14. Mentor's ready. Whistle blows. They're set. Quarterback's got it. Looking down the sideline. Into trouble, but incomplete. It's going to be 3rd down now and 14. Ball nearly into the hands of a Brunswick defensive back. They live to see another day. 3rd and 14 now. Rare 3rd and long for the Cardinals. Brunswick hoping to get them off the field. They're ready. Ball is snapped. It'll be a handoff this time. Nowhere to go for Dominic Burns. And they're just going to let the clock run now. Let's see. Yep. Oh, no. They are going to bring... The offense is still out there.
Maybe a Hail Mary type play.
Let's see. Now we're going to get a stoppage. I think Brunswick's going to take a timeout. So it looked like they were going to be content with just letting that clock run out. And then all of a sudden, the offense made its way back out. 9 seconds left.
What I was expecting to see there, the clock was ticking down, and there's only 9 seconds left on the clock. You snap that ball at 3 seconds, you let all your receivers go down to the end zone, and you just throw one up and see if you can't make a play.
Now they're not going to be quite able to do that if they're worried about giving Brunswick one more play. 9 seconds would be a very long play if it's going to fall incomplete. But let's see what Mentor decides to do.
Now, they weren't necessarily in the right formation for that as well. Usually you want, 4 guys on one side and one on the other, or, the little oopty-loopty we like to talk about. Or but they're having this deuce formation, right, where it's very identical on both sides. Innermost wide receivers off the ball, outermost on the ball.
4th and 14, one back in the backfield. They are going to look to throw. Plenty of time. Throws it, has it complete to the receiver, and gets out of bounds with 2 seconds left. Got it out to the near side to Brady Trevisano. Good, disciplined offensive football from Mentor. That's going to give them an opportunity to put up some points. Just 2 seconds left. Looks like the field goal unit is out. Again, Danny Cristo, we've seen him kick a few times tonight. Definitely has the power behind him to get this through. So it'll be about a 41-yard field goal. And we'll get a timeout. Brunswick maybe trying to ice the kicker here. And the freshman been very impressive so far tonight on kickoffs and so far perfect for PATs. This time we'll get to attempt a field goal. Long field goals, not something we see super often on the high school level. But if you have a kicker, especially when we talk about a team, Dom, where they have state title aspirations, definitely something that can come into play.
Yeah, typically, especially when you get to this level, you expect to have a kicker that can make field goals consistently. You know, what's strange is that even where I grew up, the schools are nowhere near this big. Every team pretty much had a good kicker that could squeeze a 40-yarder. I mean, my kicker growing up in high school could make 50-yarders, but there were some guys where teams you could make 40 to 30 yards pretty consistently, and that's not typical.
Setting back up now. Last play of the first half.
This would be 41 officially, Brandon.
Danny Cristo, 41-yard attempt. Snap is down, ball is up. And it is no good, wide left. But there is a flag on the play. We'll see if he gets another opportunity at this.
Yeah, and that kick had plenty of leg, just barely missed it left.
And I would like to reiterate, Cristo is a freshman.
Yeah.
So he is doing very well. But again, we'll see what's going on. No time on the clock as of now, but if this is on Brunswick, we would get another opportunity for a kick. If it was on Mentor, I imagine it would just be declined and we'd head to the locker room. And running into the kicker on Brunswick.
I mean, that can't happen. That's just something you can't do. Time after time again, this Brunswick team has been making these mistakes. This coaching staff is still implementing their culture, right? And kids are slowly buying in. I believe most of this team has bought in, but there's mistakes like that just can't happen. And when you're building a young culture, things like this will happen. And I'm sure 2-3 years from now into this coach's tenure, that won't happen anymore. Just mistakes that you just don't want to see from a team that's continuing to build.
So that's wiped clean. Cristo now a 29-yard attempt. That ball is up, and this time it is good. Right down the middle. And that's going to take us into halftime. Folks, you're watching the Keon Sports High School Football Game of the Week. The Mentor Cardinals currently leading the Brunswick Blue Devils 38-0. Stick around for the Cement Mason Local 404 halftime show hosted by Dom Clary. We'll be right back.
This week's Keon Sports Game of the Week is brought to you by the Cement Mason Local 404 Union. Whether you're an experienced journeyman or an apprentice, their doors are open for you to join the union. Current and future demand for skilled craftsmen necessitates an apprenticeship program that takes into consideration practices of one of the world's oldest trades, along with instruction in new techniques, applications, technologies, and materials. The Local 404 Cement Masons Joint Apprenticeship Training Program supports a world-class curriculum of instruction and on-the-job training for more than 40 apprentices annually. Union Cement Mason skills are honed with the most comprehensive apprenticeship training program in the industry. B.A. Sweetie Candy Company. The world's most famous candy company is right here in our backyard. They are located at 6770 Brook Park Road in Cleveland, and it is a candy lover's paradise. They have every candy from your childhood, so make sure to visit them today. JBL Roofing and Construction. JBL is a licensed, bonded, and insured contractor with the experience to complete any job needed for your home or property. Let their team of professionals help you with vinyl siding, windows, roofing, and gutters. Get the job done right the first time and stress-free with JBL. Call them today at 330-677-9463 or visit them on the web at jblrc.com. The Cleveland Building and Construction Trades Council provides essential coordination and support to the work of its affiliated local unions in order that, through inter-trade solidarity, organized construction workers achieve a powerful voice in government, bargaining, and in their communities. They work to secure the trade jurisdiction and autonomy of their affiliates as the respected arbiter of trade issues, and through that work contribute to the community of employment and economic security of organized construction workers. Established in 1913, the Cleveland Building and Construction Trades Council continues to provide skilled union craftsmanship throughout Northeast Ohio. Neopet is a nonprofit dedicated to supporting veterans, military service members, and their families right here in our community. From emergency assistance to family events, scholarships, and mental wellness programs, Neopat works to honor their service and sacrifice. You can make a difference by donating, volunteering, or sponsoring programs that directly impact local military families. Learn more and get involved at neopat.org.
North Ridgeville Athletic Boosters is a charitable organization consisting of dedicated Ranger supporters serving athletes, coaches in our community.
Chatty's Pizzeria. In the heart of Bay Village at 28611 Lake Road, this incredible pizzeria offers a full menu of food and drinks. They have everything from a casual dining experience to the romantic setting of a long-awaited date night. Their food is made on the spot with fresh ingredients and classic recipes that the entire family will enjoy. From a cozy spot in the igloo to the party room, everyone will be taken care of. Call 440-471-4485 or email info@Chatty's Pizzeria for reservations.
Some type of rule out here if they're going to pass it, but there is an overhang on the right. They need to be careful.
Brock Sandage, the keeper, up the middle, keeps the legs churning, and he fought for that football. It was nearly ripped out of his hands by the edge rusher there. That was defensive end number 53, Rodney Harris, who nearly ripped that out of the arms of Brock Sandage, and Brock Sandage said, nope, give me that. I'm holding on to this. And reaches that arm towards the plane, broke it, and that's a touchdown and now a lead for the Blue Devils.
Woo, I got chills here, Cole. This is a huge crowd here for Brunswick here tonight. And Brock Sandage gave them something to cheer for. Going in, a lot of people doubted Brunswick. It's an early lead. They have to stay consistent. Anytime this Cleveland Heights team has their talented players, their smart players on the field, they have a chance to win the game. They need to be a little bit more. The adrenaline stops you. They need to get back up to that pace here.
First and goal from the 10-yard line. Davis bouncing it to the outside, and he's going to walk into the end zone untouched, and just like that. 4 plays, 4 runs, all carries for Marquise Davis, a guy who ran for 333 yards last week and 4 touchdowns. Did not have a big first half. It was quiet, and he shows up on the first drive right when the Tigers need him, 10-6.
You know, he gets that edge. There's no one that can catch him. There needs to be someone right in front of him if they want any hopes of stopping Marquise Davis. He has that.
If you're Cleveland Heights, you can use Brunswick's game against them. Still 8 minutes to go, but continue to run the ball, run the clock, and you have an opportunity for a fresh set of downs before making it into the end zone.
Davis slipping through a couple tacklers, keeps the legs churning. Nobody could bring him down. Was touched back around the 8-yard line and just kept dragging defenders. And that's why he's the type of running back prospect we've been. Happened to the green wave on the other end. Here an option. This one going to be a pitch to the outside. Got a block and going to step into the end zone right around the corner. Nice blocking there by the wide receiver, setting that edge and giving some room for number 30, Andre Jenkins, the sophomore, to make his way into the end zone untouched. And also credit to Elijah Gray on that pitch, well timed on driving once again, looking to get their first win of the season and break that 9-game win streak for Holy Name dating back to 2013. But right now, Holy Name, they need to get a stop here. I know it's early in this game, but things are trending the way of Normandy. And a lot of it's because of Elijah Gray, the quarterback, trying to make a man miss an open field. He does. Past the 15-yard line, slips past the tackler, cuts inside, and he's going to barrel his way into the end zone. I'll tell you what's more slippery than that football tonight, and that is the quarterback, Elijah Gray. Nobody can bring that man down.
Yeah, I don't even know what to say. I mean, this is one of the most exciting runners of a quarterback that I've seen.
And a reminder that this trip to the red zone has been brought to you by Kelly McLean Achievement Center. Visit kelly-mac.com to learn more. 2nd and 2 from the 5. Have to get to the 3-yard line to pick up the first down. Rodriguez on the carry. Looks like he's going to get close and just enough to move the chains down at the 2. 1st and goal.
That's nice having that first down marker right there. Now you have 4 golden chances at the 2-yard line to punch one in.
But don't forget, Dom, this is the second time it's happened just like this. They got a fresh set of downs on the 2-yard line earlier in this game. Didn't quite turn out. Got to shake off the cobwebs.
Still running out of the same set from the last 2 plays. They're going to go back to the well with Rodriguez again. And Rodriguez is into the end zone. Touchdown, holy name. And this crowd has come back to life after being quiet in the latter stages of the first half. 14-6, an opportunity to make it 7.
That's how you set the tone. That's how you come out of half and show that we're still here, that we're not done yet. This is a tough group, as Ryan Day said in his post-game interview after the Notre Dame game. This is a tough team. That's what Holy Name is. They proved it right there with that offensive line putting in work and those running backs doing well. That was a good drive.
Here's the hold, looks good, and that kick is up and good. 14-7, one
did that. He needed that run. Yeah, he's hobbling, he's hurt, he's in pain. But as soon as he says go, and that ball hits his fingers, the light shining down bright on him, you have 11 hungry invaders trying to get to you, and all he can think of is the task at hand.
Pull back to pass, looking down the field. He's got a man wide open, and he finds him into the open field, and headed for the end zone is number 7, Colin Daskas, the senior, and an opportunity to tie this game up. What a huge play there.
Welcome on in to the Cement Mason Local 4-4 Union Halftime Show. I am Dominic Clary representing our broadcast team here at halftime. We have a 38-0 score here at Brunswick. The Mentor Cardinals showing off their firepower here tonight, and they are out in full force against the Blue Devils, who have struggled here today. Let's go across Northeast Ohio for some of the scores that you may have missed so far through halftime. As some of these games are in the second to third quarter, maybe in the same spot we are. Let's go to the SWC out west. This is Brea Mid-Park. They are tied with Amherst Steel in the third quarter. A game of interest as we will be going to Brea Mid-Park here soon. In back-to-back weeks, we'll be covering their games as they will be playing Avon at home. And then we'll be back again as they'll take on North Ridgeville at home, I do believe. We're there for back-to-back weeks. Let's look at some other scores. Austintown Fitch, they're down 14 to Painesville Riverside in the third quarter, 10-14. Nordonia is losing to Brecksville Broadview Heights, 13-6 in the second quarter. Brooklyn is losing to Rootstown, 14-0. Buckeye, they are only beating North Olmsted 3-0. North Olmsted looking to get a win here today. Canton McKinley beating Glen Oak out of Canton 7-0. The battle for Canton between those two teams only through the second quarter. Strongsville is beating Cleveland Heights 17-12. That game is around halftime. Copley is beating Talmadge 28-7. South Range beating Cortland Lakeview 33-0 in the third quarter. Elyria Catholic and Vermilion are tied in the second quarter. No update on Euclid and Lorraine so far. Brookside and Firelands 27-13 in favor of Firelands in the third quarter. Lake Catholic, they are beating Gilmore 21-7 in the third quarter. Girard, they were in the state championship in 2018, pardon me. They look to get back to that so many years later as they are beating another team from the Mahoning Valley in Struthers 41-0 in the third quarter. Sandusky Perkins and Harvest Prep, no score there so far that we can tell. Solon and Hudson 14-3 in favor of Hudson. They do a good job of building a team every year. And a score that Brandon's going to be really interested in, it's John Adams. They are tied with East Tech 0-0 in the first quarter. Let's look across some more scores as we close the halftime show here shortly. Shaker Heights and Medina tied 3-3. Avon Lake, they're beating a Midview team that has high expectations, 21-7 in the third quarter. Benedictine, the former powerhouse, the Bengals, they are beating NDCL 21-7 in the third quarter. Hubbard is beating Niles McKinley in Mahoning Valley 21-7 in the third quarter. Bay is beating Normandy 13-0. Must win for Bay so far. Avon, they are facing on against one of their arch rivals in North Ridgeville, a team that has high expectations. That score is only 21-7. We'll keep a close eye on that one as that game progresses. And let's close out this year with a few other scores. Glenville and St. Ed's 8-7 is a score in favor of Glenville. Walsh Jesuit is beating St. Ignatius 17-0. Some other scores here before we close out. Lakewood is beating Westlake 20-6. Westlake is a team that has struggled bad so far. They are trying to get their feet underneath them, but they have struggled. And we'll go to Pennsylvania. One of the biggest rivalries in all of Western Pennsylvania in 3A. The Sharon Tigers are beating the Hickory Hornets 14-7 at home on that new grass, on Sharon, the historic field over there. Two of the biggest rivals there. Those two teams hate each other. That's a rivalry I got to take part of. That's an interesting one for me for sure. And one of the most underrated and one of the most equal games you'll ever see. Every year it switches and those two teams play each other twice a year. Once in the regular season and once for the district championship to go to the state playoffs. That's it for me from the Cement Mason Local 4 Union Halftime Show. We'll be back here shortly. As the score here is 38-0 in favor of the Mentor Cardinals. We'll be right back after these messages.
This week's Keon Sports Game of the Week is brought to you by
Rookie's Sports Bar and Grill, your one stop for all things food and fun, with a variety of cold drinks as well. They have fun and games, great people, great laughs, and great times. They feature the largest selection of dartboards and pool tables you'll find on the west side. From warm food to cold beer, they have you covered from start to finish. Check them out today at 6913 West 130th Street in Parma Heights. They are right in the heart of town. You'll walk away satisfied at Rookies as they hit a home run every time.
Jenny's Popcorn. You can find their flavors anywhere popcorn is sold, including Giant Eagle and Mark's. Visit them online at jennyspopcorn.com or in person at 38727 Taylor Parkway in North Ridgeville, Ohio. They have everything from butter, cheese, caramel, and everything in between at this popcorn paradise. Spins Bowl. Spins Bowl has 36 lanes and a large redemption arcade with a full bar and restaurant. It is truly a good time for the whole family as it has something for everyone, young and old. Swing by their website for more info at spinsbowl.com.
Sergeant Clean Car Wash delivers the highest quality car wash and superior customer service in Northeast Ohio in the shortest amount of time possible. Their mission is to provide the highest quality car wash and superior customer service while serving as positive role models in their communities. You will not find a better car wash than Sergeant Clean.
The Robert Gates Legacy Foundation. This foundation aims to raise money to provide relief to organ transplant recipients. The cost of rejection medications are thousands of dollars per month, and they are needed to keep organ recipients alive. They also provide scholarships in Robert Gates' name and provide financial relief to living donors as they take time off of work for testing, workups, and surgeries, all to save someone's life by giving the gift of life.
Lally's Handyman Service. From deck and fence building to indoor and outdoor remodeling, Lally's Handyman Service has you covered. Matt and his crew have been out to my home numerous times for a multitude of services and have hit a home run every time. Repair, replace, and remodel with Lally's Handyman Service. Give them a call at 216-789-2047. MDG Flooring. If you're in need of quality flooring for your home or office, look no further than MDG Flooring America in Medina. There is nothing that Steve and his talented staff cannot handle. Call them today at 330-725-5252 or stop in and visit them in person at 3812 Pearl Road in Medina.
Pulp in North Olmsted and North Ridgeville. Tasty, healthy, and made fresh every single time. Pulp was created to be a better juice and smoothie bar. They've created smoothies, bowls, and juices to be the best tasting things you've ever tried. They focus on being truly healthy with their products and never compromise on quality. Their quick and friendly staff is passionate about making your visit to Pulp a great part of your day.
Let Katie Grasso take the hassle out of planning your next dream vacation. With CJ Vacations, they get you to the destination you want to be at with the price you can afford.
West Side Fleet. The West Side Fleet will be back in North Olmsted this summer at a brand new location in the south parking lot of the Great Northern Mall. Vendors and food trucks will be set up in the parking lot area. They'll have music, kids games, and more in the grassy area. As always, it is rain or shine, and this is an outdoor event. Dates to visit are as follows: August 30th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and September 27th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. North Olmsted Sportsman's Club. They offer a little bit of everything that the true outdoor sportsman would enjoy. At NOSC, memberships are open to everyone from novice to master. For those just starting, the Ohio Department of Natural Resources sponsors several adult and junior programs open to the public at NOSC. Everything is provided free of charge, including equipment, ammo, and targets. Also, don't forget Ladies' Night. Find out more about one of North Olmsted's oldest and most prestigious clubs at nosc-online.com.
Nancy's Main Street Diner. They only prepare your meals with the freshest ingredients. The dishes are made to order as they never use heat lamps and they take no shortcuts whatsoever. They're located at 426 Main Street in Grafton, Ohio. Nancy's Main Street Diner is your choice for all 3 daily meals. Tech Corp LLC. Through a relentless commitment to quality and service, Tech Corp LLC has developed a reputation for delivering work that exceeds expectations. They have the knowledge and experience to handle projects of any size and scope. Tech Corp LLC specializes in commercial and industrial roofing and offers assessment management programs, inspections, infrared scanning, restoration, project management, and consulting. You can reach them today by phone at 888-588-5524. Scalpers Bar and Grill. Scalpers Bar and Grill does it like no one else around. Unlike other places that close as early as 9 p.m., at Scalpers they stay open till 2 a.m. all 7 days of the week. They have the best food you'll ever put in your mouth, as they're serving up everything from subs, burgers, wings, and apps to Philly cheesesteaks, ice-cold beer, and everything you would want to eat. Do the best thing possible and make a personal trip there at 5718 Mayfield Road in Lyndhurst.
Some type of rule out here if they're going to pass it, but there is an overhang on the right. They need to be careful.
Brock Sandage, the keeper, up the middle, keeps the legs churning, and he fought for that football. It was nearly ripped out of his hands by the edge rusher there. That was defensive end number 53, Rodney Harris, who nearly ripped that out of the arms of Brock Sandage, and Brock Sandage said, nope, give me that. I'm holding on to this. And reaches that arm towards the plane, broke it, and that's a touchdown and now a lead for the Blue Devils.
Woo, I got chills here. Cool. This is a huge crowd here for Brunswick here tonight. And Brock Sandage gave them something to cheer for. Going in, a lot of people doubted Brunswick. It's an early lead. They have to stay consistent. Anytime this Cleveland Heights team has their talented players, their smart players on the field, they have a chance to win the game. They need to be a little bit more. The adrenaline stops you. They need to get back up to that pace here.
First and goal from the 10-yard line. Davis bouncing it to the outside, and he's going to walk into the end zone untouched, and just like that. 4 plays, 4 runs, all carries for Marquise Davis, a guy who ran for 333 yards last week and 4 touchdowns. Did not have a big first half. It was quiet, and he shows up on the first drive right when the Tigers need him, 10-6.
You know, he gets that edge. There's no one that can catch him. There needs to be someone right in front of him if they want any hopes of stopping Marquise Davis. He has that.
If you're Cleveland Heights, you can use Brunswick's game against them. Still 8 minutes to go, but continue to run the ball, run the clock, and you have an opportunity for a fresh set of downs before making it into the end zone.
Davis slipping through a couple tacklers, keeps the legs churning. Nobody could bring him down. Was touched back around the 8-yard line and just kept dragging defenders. And that's why he's the type of running back prospect we've been. Happened to the green wave on the other end. Here an option, and this one going to be a pitch to the outside. Got a block and going to step into the end zone right around the corner. Nice blocking there by the wide receiver, setting that edge and giving some room for number 30, Andre Jenkins, the sophomore. to make his way into the end zone untouched. And also credit to Elijah Gray on that pitch, well timed on driving once again, looking to get their first win of the season and break that 9-game win streak for Holy Name dating back to 2013. But right now, Holy Name, they need to get a stop here. I know it's early in this game, but things are trending the way of Normandy. And a lot of it's because of Elijah Gray, the quarterback, trying to make a man miss an open field. He does. Past the 15-yard line, slips past the tackler, cuts inside, and he's going to barrel his way into the end zone. I'll tell you what's more slippery than that football tonight, and that is the quarterback, Elijah Gray. Nobody can bring that man down.
Yeah, I don't even know what to say. I mean, this is one of the most exciting runners of a quarterback that I've seen.
And a reminder that this trip to the red zone has been brought to you by Kelly McLean Achievement Center. Visit kelly-mac.com to learn more. 2nd and 2 from the 5. Have to get to the 3-yard line to pick up the first down. Rodriguez on the carry. Looks like he's going to get close and just enough to move the chains. Down at the 2. 1st and goal.
That's nice having that first down marker right there. Now you have 4 golden chances at the 2-yard line to punch one in.
But don't forget, Dom, this is the second time it's happened just like this. They got a fresh set of downs on the 2-yard line earlier in this game. Didn't quite turn out. Got to shake off the cobwebs.
Still running out of the same set from the last 2 plays. They're going to go back to the well with Rodriguez again. And Rodriguez is into the end zone. Touchdown, Holy Name. And this crowd has come back to life after being quiet in the latter stages of the first half. 14-6, an opportunity to make it 7.
That's how you set the tone. That's how you come out of half and show that we're still here, that we're not done yet. This is a tough group, as Ryan Day said in his post-game interview after the Notre Dame game. This is a tough team. That's what Holy Name is. They proved it right there with that offensive line putting in work and those running backs doing well. That was a good drive.
Here's the hold, looks good, and that kick is up and good. 14-7, 1
did that. He needed that run. Yeah, he's hobbling, he's hurt, he's in pain. But as soon as he says go and that ball hits his fingers, the light shining down bright on him, you have 11 hungry invaders trying to get to you, and all he can think of is the task at hand.
Pull back to pass, looking down the field. He's got a man wide open, and he finds him into the open field, and headed for the end zone is number 7, Colin Daskos, the senior, and an opportunity.
And welcome back for the second half of action, folks. The Keon Sports High School Football Game of the Week for Week 4. Mentor Cardinals have traveled into Brunswick to take on the Blue Devils. Men are currently leading this one 38-0. Mentor is also going to receive the opening half kickoff. And just a reminder, folks, any point of 30 or any lead of 30 points or more does mean we will have a running clock until that lead is closed to less than 10. So the clock is now running and will stay that way unless there is an official timeout or a change of possession. That's a touchback out of the back of the end zone. And it was all Mentor in the first half. We'll see if the starting offense comes back out or if they'll try to get some of their young players some more work. They got an offense, plenty of seniors. The defense is kind of the question mark this year. A lot of younger guys having to step up. Not a question mark in their ability, but just in that a lot of seniors graduated, so a lot of new faces in there. But so far, they've played incredibly well tonight. 0 points allowed thus far. 1st and 10 from the 20. Ball is snapped. It's going to be a throw. Halfback screen. Back's got a little bit of space. Dives right at the first down marker. He's got it. Brogan Jones is still in the game. It looks like the starting Cardinals offense get at least one more drive.
And it seems like there's a few players that have been replaced. I think there's a different right tackle in. I think there might be a guard that is different as well. I think the left tackle might be the same. So a few changes.
1st and 10 now from the 30. This time it'll be a handoff. Back's got some space. One man to beat down the sideline. There's one more keying in on him. Can he get past him? Shoves him out of bounds. before he's able to get there.
They're ruling that a touchdown, Brandon.
They
He stayed
are
in.
ruling that a touchdown. Was very close, was sidestepping there, but he does get it in. And assuming that sticks, Dominic Burns on the run. Found an opening down the far side of that field, hit the Jets, and was gone.
What yard line were they on, gentlemen?
35.
Thank you.
So less than 2 minutes off the clock, and Mentor.
That's 65 yards.
Danny Cristo again on the extra point. Ball is snapped. It's down, but the whistle is blown. Flag on the play. Kick would have been good. And false start on Mentor, so that's going to back him up a little bit. We know Cristo still has the leg power to get it through. We did see him technically miss one wide left earlier from about 40, but that was taken off the board after a roughing the kicker penalty, and then made his one 15 yards closer. So we'll try that again. This time a 25-yard attempt. Ball's down, kick is up, and it is good. Cristo remains perfect on PATs. Mentor remains perfect on offensive drives, 45-0 in favor of the Cardinals. Clock will stop temporarily as we switch possession. We're under 9 minutes to go in the third quarter. Folks, make sure that you're getting your votes in for the Cement Masons and Mickey's players of the game. One on offense, one on defense from Mentor or Brunswick. Let us know in the YouTube comments who you think is deserving of those rewards. We will take all votes into account up until about 2 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. We'll tally everything up. And then in our Cement Mason Local 404 Union postgame show, me and Brandon Marvel will let you know who those winners are.
You know, Brandon, we saw quite a bit in the first half where Brunswick's offense was able to pick up chunk plays once or twice every other drive, but they weren't really able to put together a full drive of productive play. Let's see here if they could open up the second half with a nice methodical drive where they could pick up some chunk plays and just really have some real steady offensive flow.
And Brunswick started off being able to pick up some good chunks on offense. Just haven't quite been able to string together a full scoring drive. Clock running again. Ball is booted deep. Bounces, picked up about the 10-yard line. Turner makes his way up the near side. Bounces, trying to find some room. Now cuts inside, still on his feet. Finally brought down right around the 30-yard line. And that was number 10, Anthony Gamboa on the return. He's had a couple good returns tonight for Brunswick. Sean Barnett and the Blue Devils get another opportunity to get the ball moving. Offense now set, two backs in the backfield. Now send him in motion. Barnett's ready, handoff. Back working his way up the near side. He gets wrapped up for no gain.
Yeah, they tried running a counter there to the right. You have the guard kicking the end out, and you have the fullback who is Nichols, then going upfield, going to the linebacker. By the time those two got to their spots, that play was already blown up by the people they were supposed to go block. They couldn't even get there in time. That's how well read that play was by the Mentor Cardinals.
We second down and 11 now. Two backs in the backfield again. And plenty of pre-snap motion tonight. Quick throw, wide receiver screen, but hit as he caught it. Hangs onto the ball, though. A short gain for the Blue Devils. Caught that time by Jake. Oh, man. Tom, help me out here. I don't want to mess this one up.
Thomas Aeneas.
Jake Thomas Aeneas. We'll go with it.
Sometimes you just gotta run the ball in those situations. And I'm not talking about the field. I'm talking about when pronouncing names. When you don't know it, you just got to go for it, man. And I don't know if we got it right. I hope we did. If you're the Young Man's family that listens back, post a comment and we'll try to, fumble.
3rd and 5 is Barnett hit in the backfield, loses the ball. Mentor picks it up on the 25-yard line of Brunswick. And guess who? Carson Wolk.
And that last name, it looks like Tomas Yunus. Reminds me of the back in the early mid 2015 2K days when they pronounced Jonas Valanciunas Valanciunas. So maybe that's how I learned to pronounce these names, but it looks like Tomas Yunus.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Thomas Sunis. Thank you from the Brunswick PA announcer. Appreciate that. We're going to hold on to that.
Look at the hear struggling all the way across the press box.
Appreciate it, guys.
We appreciate the help.
First and 10 for Mentor, and that ball is out. Quarterback has to dive on top of it. They maintain possession. Looks like we got a new quarterback, Chase Minot, in for Mentor. Not the start he was hoping for, but able to keep possession. Clock continues to run. We inch closer to 5 minutes, 30 seconds to go in quarter number 3. 2nd and 16 now. Going to be a handoff. Back tries to find a little bit of room, maybe picks up a yard. Brunswick defense, good job there, sniffing that out. That was Ryan Orsock on the carry, 4th running back in tonight for Mentor, the junior. 3rd down and 16 for Mentor. Three receivers far, one to the near side. Minot has it, rolling, looking, rusher coming up behind him, gets it out off the fingertips of his receiver, but into the hands of another one. And they're going to say incomplete. Nearly an incredible play from the Cardinals offense. At the end of the day, it'll be 4th down for Mentor.
It looked like a tip drill kind of play. Hit the first receiver in the hands, went a few yards further, and it looked like the second receiver was able to keep his feet in bounds, but the ref saw otherwise and is an incomplete pass.
And so far, the offense hanging out there still.
You know what these high school stadiums are missing? Do you remember when the bands used to have those, like, to be in the end zones and have those big little shelter things with, like, the roofs?
No.
That's what we need.
4th and 16. Quarterback's got it, looking to throw, but the play is blown dead before we can get it started.
You know what I'm talking about?
I do know what you're talking about. Delay of game, though, for Mentor. Anytime we can get the band more exposure, I'm all for it.
Well, you know, it's like kind of cool because like they're kind of like the band's in their own spot, but they're on the track. Give them like a huge little stage thing with a roof. Oh,
We'll put that in. We'll see what we get back. 4th down, going to be a handoff. Try to pick up the yardage they need, and they're not going to get it for the first time tonight. Brunswick will take over on downs.
that was like a counter draw kind of situation. Quarterback dropping back, gives the handoff while the running back steps to the right, gets a little handoff. That was never going to get the yardage, but it was a nice little design play. Good effort by them.
Now Brunswick's offense coming back out. Defense making the stand for the first time tonight. 3 minutes, 15 seconds to go here in the 3rd quarter. Clock continues to run. 1st and 10 now from the 30. Drop back, looking to throw. Quarterback now has to scramble. Little bit of room. Cuts back up the middle of the field. Still going. Dives forward. Has the first down and more. Sean Barnett, the 14-yard scramble. That'll move the chains. First and 10 from the 44-yard line now of Brunswick. After the explosive run from Barnett. Shotgun formation, single back. Pressure coming from Mentor. Gets the ball out quick, completed to his receiver, but nowhere to go. Called in there by number 21, Cohen Iasa.
You know, you have like
Second and
those gazebo things for the band. You run the single back. No signals. You're just like going to the coach and getting the signals yourself, or a sub goes in and gives a court. That's football.
2nd and 7, under 2 minutes now in the third quarter. Ball snap. Going to throw again. Barnett facing pressure, has to scramble, gets past the first line of defense. He's got a first down, tripped up, and into Mentor territory. Another improvised run from Sean Barnett keeps the Blue Devils moving. First down, Brunswick. They're moving the ball thanks to the feet of Sean Barnett. First and 10 from the 37. Time for a couple more plays here before the quarter is over. Handoff this time. Back bounces outside. Pushes his way forward. Knocks a couple of defenders down on his way out. There's Gavin Bullock.
He's been fun to watch today. I know he hasn't had the success that he ultimately wants, but he's a fun running back. I'm sure when they get deeper in the conference play, they're going to have some success when this team's going to try to pursue a playoff push here. Because, again, every team in this conference is not like Mentor. Brunswick realistically could be, depending what they do against Strongsville, could be the second or third best team in this conference.
2nd and 3 now. Man in motion. They're going to hand it off. Has a little bit of space opening in front of him and tripped up before he's able to break through to the end zone. First and goal for Brunswick. And folks, this trip to the red zone brought to you by the Kelly McLean Achievement Center.
What number was that, Brandon?
21, Cohen Iasa.
Iasa.
Set him in motion. Got the ball with some momentum behind him. And that's going to do it, though, folks, for the third quarter. You're watching the Keon Sports High School Football Game of the Week. Mentor Cardinals 45, Brunswick Blue Devils 0. We'll be right back.
This week's Keon Sports Game of the Week is brought to you by
Kelly McLean Achievement Center, the premier resource for high school athletes who wish to continue to play in college. They provide a one-on-one consultative approach to help students determine their needs and goals. Visit them online at kellymac.com. Village Coffee and Creamery. From the founders of Nancy's Main Street Diner comes Village Coffee and Creamery. They have everything from dessert, lunch items, and coffee to ice cream and every kind of sweet treat you could think of. They are located at 486 Main Street in Grafton.
Some type of rule out here if they're going to pass it, but there is an overhang on the right. They need to be careful.
Brock Sandage, the keeper, up the middle, keeps the legs churning, and he fought for that football. It was nearly ripped out of his hands by the edge rusher there. That was defensive end number 53, Rodney Harris, who nearly ripped that out of the arms of Brock Sandage, and Brock Sandage said, nope, give me that. I'm holding on to this, and reaches that arm.
And back for the start of the fourth quarter, Keon Sports Game of the Week. Mentor Cardinals, Brunswick Blue Devils, Brunswick. The scoring opportunity now. First and goal from the 7. Mentor sending pressure, handoff up the middle to Nichols. Nowhere to go. He's met at the line. And actually Elijah Poindexter getting in there for the carry. First time we've called his name tonight for Brunswick. Again, running clock. Any score of or any differential of 30 or more will keep that clock moving. 2nd and 8. Goal to go for the Blue Devils. Best opportunity they've had tonight. Barnett, 2 backs in the backfield. Man in motion, going to look to throw. Back corner of the end zone. Receiver goes up and off his hands. Good opportunity there, though, for the Blue Devils. Just couldn't quite haul that one in. Third down for Brunswick.
You know, I just still don't understand as a football society why we still run that out route play or that goal line post. There hasn't been a single player in all of football that has been able to do that successfully, consistently. since Calvin Johnson and Antonio Brown have stopped playing football. There's not a single player that can execute that play normally.
3rd and 8 now for the Blue Devils. Barnett will hand it off. Back's got a little bit of space. Still fighting. Not quite going to get there, though. As Mentor thought they had the ball for a second, but they're going to mark him down. It'll be 4th and a couple for the Blue Devils. Again, goal-to-go situation. Offense staying out there. Barnett getting the call. Now under 10 minutes to go here in the 4th quarter. Sets his team. One back in the backfield with him. Snapped, rolling out, looking for a receiver, throws it, and he's got him! Touchdown, Brunswick! The Blue Devils not going to go quietly. They put up 6 of their own. Gavin Bollock on the touchdown reception. Well, will not be a shutout tonight in Brunswick.
With no net behind the posts, I want to see how far he kicks this football, how close he could get it to the screen.
That was Asa, by the way.
That was
number 21, yes.
All right. Thank you, Dom. That kick is up, and it is good. 9:06 to go here, folks. Mentor 45, Brunswick 7. Brunswick, it's their first defensive stop on downs tonight. Turns that into 7 of their own. Clock stops as we get ready to change possession.
So when you're going to run the flag of the team that scores, if you're the home team, I think you are required to do it in the end zone, not on the track. I think that's what the process should be.
The end zone that they scored in, or the end zone of
opposite?
Opposite. I'd like it to have them like run up and down
the field.
Couple times. No, like just in the end zone.
No, I agree. I always think of just like the end zone, like we had like the PITT and they run across, and then like someone has a Dino Cat and they're waving it around.
There's another Pitt reference, folks. If you need an athletic director for your high school, Tom Clary is available. There's plenty of ideas. Don't give away too many good ones on the broadcast.
Dude, no, I have a lot. I mean, it would have a fight song that wouldn't be Ohio State or Michigan. How about that?
Oh, bold. Very bold.
It would be Pitts.
Bold strategy.
Honestly, probably be Notre Dame or USC. 2 of the best fight songs. Oh my goodness, they just ran up on the ball. I love when teams do wonky stuff like that, man.
Brunswick gets ready to boot this one away. DiTeodoro gets it deep, very deep. About center of the Brunswick U. Gets that one too. Clock starts to run again as Mentor takes the field. The second time, we'll see the second unit out there for Mentor. Not a lot of luck the first time. Turnover on downs in Brunswick territory. There we go. Offense is ready. 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Now 1 going in motion. It'll be a handoff to the man in motion. Working up the near side of the field, follows a blocker. Not able to escape the first defender that got to him. Number 17 there on the carry. Marcus Kvetchkin. And first time getting his name called tonight. One of the younger players getting out there for Mentor. Be 2nd and 10 now when we come back. There's some discussion between an official and a Brunswick player. All seems well. Although still showing first down. Yes, first down. Apologies. Handoff again. Back's got some space up the sideline. Brought down there after a short gain. That time, Ryan Orsog, the carrier. Saw him get some touches earlier in this game. Second and 3 now. Under 7 minutes to go in this one. Folks, make sure you stick around for the Cement Mason Local 404 post-game show with me and Brandon Marvel, as we'll name our Cement Masons and our Mickey's players of the game, which, by the way, still got a couple minutes to put in your votes for if you're watching on our YouTube channel. Handoff for Mentor, right up the gut, nowhere to go. It's Brunswick all over that one. Orsog again on the carry. It'll be 3rd and 1. Mentor tries to keep their drive alive. And plenty of players tonight worthy of those Mickey's and Cement Masons awards. Plenty for us to choose from. So again, folks, your votes will go a lot towards helping us decide. Handoff. Orsog tries to switch sides of the field, but nowhere to go. Looks like he did get just enough for that first down, though. They'll go ahead and move the chains. They made the most of what he had in front of him there. Still in their own territory. First down from the 42. Ball coming in from the sideline. They're ready now. Man in motion again. Be a handoff. Not a lot to work with. Hit hard at the line of scrimmage. Really nowhere to go for the running back from Mentor. Maybe picks up a yard. They'll give him a yard there. Looking forward for both of these teams next week. Mentor, they're going to be staying home. They're going to play Medina. And then Brunswick, they're going to head on the road as they go on and play Shaker Heights. We move into week 2 of conference play. We'll see Brunswick again later in this year against Strongsville. Week 10, if I do remember correctly.
To end our year, yeah.
Handoff again. This time back has some room. He's got a first down and more. Finally knocked out of bounds. Right around that 40-yard line. New set of downs now for the Cardinals. I'll mention it again in the post-game show, but a little preview for us next week, heading back to Avon Lake. We were one game last year. They take on Amherst.
Beautiful stadium out there in Avon Lake.
Absolutely. Really looking forward to that one. And everywhere we've been, it's taken care of us this year. I'm sure Avon Lake will be no different. Man in motion, handoff again, brought down at the 40. Gain of about 4. That was Aiden Grova on the carry. 2nd and 7. 3 minutes, 30 seconds to go in this one, folks. Just a minute or so left to get those votes in for the Mickey's and Cement Masons players of the game. Dom's over here doing math. He's counting up the votes now. Counting up stats so we can make our decision as well. 2nd and 7. Handoff up the middle. Bounces off a couple defenders. Still going. Only picks up 1 on the play. Get about 20 yards of running.
All right, gentlemen, this is where I depart.
All
where
right.
I go down to the field and give our lucky winners.
All right, keep an eye on
the
that
awards.
YouTube chat on your way down, Dom, just in case a couple more come in.
Oh, I will.
But Dom will head down. Again, it'll be me and Brandon Marvel for our players, or for our postgame show, rather. We'll announce the players of the game. 3rd and 6. Handoff again, pushing forward. Not quite enough there for the first down. Thank you, Dom, for everything tonight. Dominic Clary on color as usual. keep an eye out. May shake things up later in the year as a couple people that may have to be out. Hoping Dom might actually make his play-by-play debut. 4th down, play blown dead. That'll be a false start on Mentor. And Dom's done great work for us for several years now with both myself and with Cole McDaniel. So hoping to get him some reps at the play-by-play spot. Been an excellent color man. And Marvel, got to shout you out as well. It is not an easy job what you're doing, chipping in on color too, and running the tech. Everything you guys are seeing on your screen is thanks to Marvel tonight, doing an excellent job. Handoff again. Far side of the field. 1st down. Has some space. Tough stiff arm. And eventually knocked out of bounds.
I feel like I've said this once a week now because of the scores of the games that we've been calling, but these plays late in the game when it's their 2nd, 3rd, maybe even 4th units out there that are still just really trying the hardest they can. As we saw right there, a big stiff arm on the sideline trying to pick up extra yardage.
And here's a name for you, Braylon Littlejohn on that stiff arm. Another running back getting in from Mentor, the junior. And they are so deep at the running back position. Now 35 seconds left, 1st down for Mentor, and they're just going to kneel this one out. And that is going to do it, folks. Not enough time on the clock to run another play. This has been the Week 4 Keon Sports High School Football Game of the Week Conference Matchup. Mentor all over Brunswick, 45-7. Stick around for the Cement Mason Local 404 post-game show for myself and Brandon Marvel. We'll name our Cement Masons and Mickey's players of the game right after these messages.
This week's Keon Sports Game of the Week is brought to you by Dave's Golden Shear Barbershop. Dave's Golden Shear Barbershop has been your trusted barber for nearly a century of great haircuts. With affordable prices and excellent customer service, there's no better place to get your cut. It is located at 26915 Center Ridge Road in Westlake.
For my favorite pizza of sausage and pepperoni, or Brandon's favorite of olive and pineapple, let Angela's make the perfect pie for you. Visit them in person at 27095 Bagley Road, Olmsted Falls, or place your order online at angelinaspizza.com.
Earth Flora. EarthFlora.com is the leader in the trade of botanical artificial plants and trees custom made with your vision in mind. Call them today at 440-899-4947 or visit them at www.earthflora.com. Make sure you enter code SAVE5 to save an extra 5% and get free shipping on orders of $100 or more within the inland United States.
The Moose is on the loose at Mickey's. Your local Mickey's is open now for the food and fuel you need to keep your family on moving. Be sure to use your Mickey Mart Rewards card to quickly rack up amazing member-only deals, including free food and beverages. Mickey's is a proud supporter of our local school systems through our Fuel Schools program and excited to team up with Keon Sports to bring you all the finest moments in local sports, information, and entertainment. Visit www.mickeythemoose.com. That's mickeythemoose.com to find your location near you.
Helene Kia. Looking for a new or used car? Check out our guy Jim McConville at Helene Kia in North Olmsted on Lorraine Road. Jim is a member of the auto community for the last 20 years and will treat you right no matter your car buying need. He's an expert at new and used car deals, including trade-ins and financing. Save Staffing of Ohio. They offer temporary, temp to hire, and direct hire placements for job candidates and businesses across Ohio. Whether your company needs talented people or you're looking for employment in your field, their goal is to help you succeed. Their motto is helping people work, helping companies grow.
Vote Carbone for Strongsville this election season. You can email Jim Carbone at carboneforstrongsville@yahoo.com for information on how you can help. With Carbone, your vision is his mission.
Olmsted Smoke Shop. Olmsted Smoke Shop is your one-stop destination for all things smoke. Olmsted Smoke Shop is located at 24137 Lorraine Road in North Olmsted and provides the best value in town.
run some type of rule out here if they're going to pass it, but there is an overhang on the right. They need to be careful.
And welcome in to the Cement Mason Local 404 Union postgame show. I'm Brandon Soder. Alongside me is Brandon Marvel. Thank you again, folks, for tuning in to our Week 4 game of the week. It was Mentor versus Brunswick. Mentor walking away with the victory here, 45-7. Early on in this game, Brunswick started off with possession, was moving the ball well. An untimely interception deep in Mentor territory really ended up setting the tone for the rest of this game, as that offensive line for Mentor really just controlled things. We saw several different running backs get the ball, be able to dominate, and just, like I said, control the game. Excellent play, though, from everyone, including their junior quarterback, Brogan Jones. So very good, complete game for Mentor. Brunswick was able to put up points late, largely thanks to the legs of Sean Barnett, the dual threat quarterback for Brunswick. But again, at the end of it, all Mentor. So, Brandon, seeing this game, what are a couple things that Mentor and Brunswick can take from this and bring them into Week 5?
Yeah, I mean, for Mentor, today went about as good as you could have asked for it to go. We talked to Coach Matt Gray prior to the game. He talked about his offensive line, how Brogan Jones has really filled Scotty Fox's shoes really well. Like he said, he's not going to be a Scotty Fox. It's going to be hard to be that ever. So you just got to do what you got to do, get your job done. And that's what they did today. The offensive line got pushed on every single play. Jackson Farley and their depth in the running back room continued to show why they're so dominant. And then Brogan Jones and the wide receivers, they played about as good a football you can get. And then defensively, I mean, the one thing maybe to clean up for them is giving up those chunk plays every so often. And like we talked about a little bit, that was, I guess, their biggest weakness, if they really have one, is that defensively they've been giving up 20 points coming into today. Only 7 today, and it was with the second, third units in there. But just trying to cut back on those big chunk plays being given up on the defensive end for Mentor. And then on the Brunswick side of the ball, defensively, they just got to continue to do everything they can to stop the run. They're a physical team up front. On the edges defensively, we saw Eli Nichols making a bunch of plays today, coming from not even the blind side like we talked about early, was I think the late second quarter. He just came from the opposite side where Brogan Jones was throwing the ball, knocked the ball out. Jones was able to recover, but it was another forced fumble. And offensively, they just got to get the drives fully together and flowing. I mentioned it with Mentor's weakness is their defense. Brunswick was able to pick them apart a couple times, but they weren't able to get the full drive going. They'd get a couple chunk plays, and then they stall out. That seemed to happen quite a bit tonight for Brunswick.
All right, and just as a quick reminder, folks, Mentor next week, they are going to go home. They play Medina. And then Brunswick, they're on the road. They will take on Shaker Heights. As for the Keon Sports crew, we are heading to Avon Lake as the Shoremen take on the Amherst Comets. But now, folks, the moment you have all been waiting for, the Cement Masons and the Mickeys players of the game. Marvel, what do you got?
So our Cement Mason Local 404 offensive player of the game is going to be none other than Dominic Burns. Number 20, running back for the Mentor Cardinals. He ended the night with 8 rushes for 100 yards even and 2 touchdowns, showing off that depth at running back for Mentor. And for our defensive player of the game, brought to you by Mickey's, we have Mentor's Drew Morgan, 2 interceptions on the night, a fumble recovery, and a huge 74-yard punt return that set Mentor up at Brunswick's 1-yard line that they were able to go ahead and quickly score their second touchdown of the game.
All right, congratulations to our Cement Masons and Mickey's players of the game. Congratulations to Mentor on a big win tonight. And thank you folks again for tuning in. This has been lots of fun as always. We'll see you next week in Avon Lake. For Brandon Marvel,